The whole wide world will welcome the rising sun. Here comes the time for everyone to see that what will be, will be. This is the time for you and I to stand together as one. Yeah. They will know, they will know. The sun is rising from east to west, from north to south. Can't you see the sun is rising? Oh, you wave your flag and be proud of who you are. Because the sun is rising, we shining so bright all over the world. We are the sun, we are rising. We spent our lives simply in a mystery. Never gonna trade our freedom with any mystery. It's affecting our soul and it's killing us slow. With what we've been through, we are far from being good, but we are blessed by Chukwuka Biafra. So we're never gonna give up. We're never gonna give up. There'll be light in the end of a tunnel. It will shine so bright all time. The whole wide world will embrace us. Nobody can stop us, nobody can cage us, nobody can stand us, yeah. They will know, they will know. The sun is rising from east to west, from north to south. Can't you see the sun is rising? Oh, you wave your flag and be proud of who you are. Because the sun is rising, we're shining so bright all over the world. We are the sun, we are rising. The windows and curtains, green lights be revealing. When I think about how blessed we are, goosebumps all over my body. Sunrise to the black stripe, black strands crossing grey stripes. Clashes upon clashes, many lives turn to ashes. When I ponder and reminisce, the actions I see malice. Blood on the ground, this is how we fly. Our beautiful flag all around the world. Blood on the ground, this is how we fly. Our beautiful flag all around the world. We go carry the cross together. We walk through to Zion. We stumble, we rise. How the victory will start. They will know, they will know. The sun is rising from east to west, from north to south. Can't you see the sun is rising? I still wave your flag all over the world. Because the sun is rising, I still be shining so bright all over the world. We are the sun, we are rising. They will know, they will know, they will know. Keep our light shining. The sun is rising. Oh, wave your flag anywhere you are. Keep our light shining. The sun is rising. Keep our light shining. The sun is rising. Freedom, freedom, yeah. The sun, we are rising. Hey, the bricks, Sunday. Oh na 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 na. Watch it now. Watch me far away, see me far away. Shabada, tell me what you saw. I will show you what I have. Because I have myself, oh, then think say na defense, oh. Make you watch my back. Now wait till you they see, yeah. Unless you have the sense, so go learn to pretend, oh. Do not run away. Kind of over than you. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I talk. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I am.
with no delay. Let them know say una eyes clear about una way. Watch out, many things they happen in that country you dey. So some people trouble upon people every day. Even when you dey, you go talk say you know dey. I need to understand why this one about. I need to understand why this truth apart. The promise that we got and nationalize. The promise we will live and no complaints. Somebody watch me far away. Watch me far away. See me far away. See me far away. Tell me what you saw. I will show you what I have. Because I have myself. Oh, then think say na defense. Oh, make you watch my back. Now wait till you they see. Yeah, unless you have the sense. Oh, you go learn to pretend. Oh, do not run away. Kind of that is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I talk. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I am. Samada, cha cha cha, kick Samada, boomba. See, I come back again to tell people say, now here we dey, we don't come to stay. I say no retreat, no surrender. We're living big, but no arrange. Look at the soldiers killing innocent Biafrans every day. Look at Islam is killing innocent Christians every day. It's depending me, it's depending me, it's depending me. Chukwuoki Kobiama, Baturanyo say Yemaka, Baturanyo say Yemaka. I know Ginaka, that is why I say, that is why I talk, that is why I know. That is why I say, that is why I talk, that is why I know. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Ikem Umu Biafra nine, Anyisi Gabaniru, Onyaka ya docha, Weli feneme, Onye na ya nejuno yine, Chukwu kwa mawaja. You are whiter than snow, Oku gibesi oku. We stand where you stand, we say no secret trial. Onyinye Chukwu, Ezosika, Osiki, Ohamadike, no secret trial. Prophet Yahweh's young, Osiki, Ohamadike, Osiki Jisike, Mazus, Ejike, Kole, Osiki. One day Muje Bije, Sikwa, no Welly Feneme, O Welly Fenafia, O Welly Fenaco. Ezi one name, Victor, Chimezie, Okorochuku, Igbo Network Television, London, Osiki Jisike. Na hakuge nazu Umu Biafra nile Gedine nuwa Asiki Gabaniru No secret trial No secret trial No secret trial No secret trial. Hey! Watch me far away. See me far away. Tell me what you saw. I will show you what I have. Because watch my back. Now wait till you they see, yeah. Unless you have the sense, so you go learn to pretend, oh. Do not run away. Find us over than you. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I thought. That is why I say. That is why I say. That is why I know. Well, if you know, you are whiter than snow. We stand where you stand. We say no secret trial. Onyinye chuku ezosika osiki ohamadike. No secret trial. Prophet Yahweh's young osiki ohamadike osiki jisike Mazus ejike kole osiki one day buje bije sikwa no weli feneme o weli fenafio o weli fenako ezi one name Victor Chimezie Okorochukwu Igbo Network Television London Osiki Jisike na hapu ginazu Umu Biafra nile Gedine nuwa Asiki Gabaniru No secret trial No secret trial No secret trial No secret trial Hey! Watch me far away See me far away Tell me what you saw I will show you what I have Because I have myself oh Then think say na defense oh Make you watch my back Now wait till you they see Yeah Unless you have the sense oh You go learn to pretend oh Do not run away Find us over than you That is why I say That is why I say That is why I thought That is why I say That is why I say That is why I know That is why I say That is why I say That is why I thought That is why I say That is why I say That is why I know
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. There was a nation living in peace and unity. Hey, they are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, Idean heritage, bias and oppressive. Oh, I see. A nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna praise us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. With a flag, with a flag, with a flag, with a flag. Oh yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know
Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll on the blood, couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of a hero's blood. Abagana Zobunigwe was stronger than flood, but the juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. Too bloody name, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my vein. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is a nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is a nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Hey. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. I see the rising sun from Africa. Oh, this is a sign of victory. Oh, yeah. I see future in Africa. Oh, yeah. People of Biafra. See light shining on the world. Oh, yeah.
Boma. Hello, good evening, Biafrans all over the world. I want to welcome you to this wonderful evening program. Unfortunately, my face is blurring, so I would like to step out a little bit for that to be corrected. Please, my face is blurring. I would like to step out. We'll be coming back with music once again while we sort out the issues. Please, yes. I'll be back in a minute. Thank you.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. There was a nation living in peace and unity. Hey, there are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, a different heritage, bias and oppressive. Oh, I see. A nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna praise us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. With your flag, with your flag, with your flag, with your flag. Oh yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh.
reminisce way back 1967. Death toll on the block, couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of a hero's blood. Abagana Zobunigwe was stronger than flood, but the juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody now, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my vein. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is a nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is a nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Hey. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide weep. Oh, I see a nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time nobody gonna praise us, rather you all gonna embrace her. Wave your flag, wave your flag, wave your flag, wave your flag. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll on the blood, couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of a hero's blood. Abagana Zobunigwe was stronger than flood, but the juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody now, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my vein. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is a nation that the Lord has chosen.
Hello, good evening, Biafrans all over the world. I want to welcome you to this wonderful program this evening. Unfortunately, earlier on we had issues that had to do with the blurring pictures and videos, but we've been able to resolve that right now. And I want to say welcome to this wonderful evening program. Today, 14 January 2025. My name remains Mazi Ikem Patrick DK. And like we shared our flyers all over today's 14th of January, we promised you that we'll be coming with a very special guest to this Biafran television program. Who he is also a pioneer of BTV Europe, and it will be interesting for us to have Mazi Izayoba, who is a member of the Directorate of State and also the deputy representative of European representative, deputy to the European representative. Mazi Izayoba, good evening and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me, Mazi
Yeah,
Ikem.
I was trying to give you your title of your deputy too, but I just see myself wobbling there. But I believe that Biafrans know you very well, so you don't even need much introduction, by the way.
That's correct. That's correct. Yes, Mazi.
It is
Thank
my
you very
pleasure
much.
to have you on BTV this evening.
Yeah, me too. Thank you very much, Ikem Patrick, for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to start by, giving you the wonderful opportunity to wish Biafrans a happy new year on BTV. We know you've been on social media, on your page, doing a lot of media work, trying to educate and enlighten our people. But today on BTV, I want to give you the opportunity to welcome our people and wish them a happy new year as we proceed in the program.
All right. Thank you very much, Mazi Ikem Patrick. Thank you for having me on this evening edition. It's a very wonderful one. And of course, as I says, we are here to guide our people. I just want to welcome everyone on board on the New Year's of 2025. My name remains Mazi Izayoba, and I serve indigenous people of Biafra in the little humble way I can as a Deputy European Rep and also member of the Electorate. And of course, it's a very good opportunity for me to be here again to also discuss and deliberate on the issue that concerns us as a race. Having said that, of course, I have to recognize the leader of this movement and also recognize our head of directorate, Mazi Chike, and who I'm also deputizing here, Mazi Abanim, and to the whole rest of members of DOS, Mazi Chinasamoro, Mazi Nachi, and many more. They are there, Mazi Austin um, in Australia, Mazi is it Chukuma, Austin. I welcome every one of them and welcoming our audience and the people of good conscience and of goodwill. We welcome all of you all. And I believe this year, 2025, is going to be a year of testimony. It's going to be a year of deliverance. We're going to sing a whole lot of songs of freedom and songs of deliverance this year. By the special grace of Chukwukabiam, a lot of testimony is going to come out this year. And we are looking forward to make sure that our people are protected and safe. We're going to sing among other nations. This is my wish to every one of us. And I will not hesitate also to recognize some of our heroes past, some of our IPOB family members who have lost their life in the quest of this Biafra restoration, and all the bereaved families who are also have contributed immense in this, haven't even lost family members. It's not an easy thing to lose a family member just due to the kind of country we find ourselves in, where there is no human right and where there is no justice whatsoever. Is a situation we find ourselves in that we are also trying to bring to the public attention, which the world have never know that this thing is happening to us as a race. So, and thanks to Kokikabiama that we have managed to establish this media outlet that we can use to inform and engage our people properly so they will not depend the information from the enemy, and all sorts of information were only from the enemy. So when they try to blackmail us as a race, now we can also come here and also counter that and also tell the world what is happening to us as a race. It's a war of genocide that was levied against us from 1967-70, and that war have not ended. And that's why you still see us here today, trying to also bring that that unending war that is still going on, the war of genocide and annihilation against of our people. That's why we are here bringing it up. Mazi, I want to thank all of you also who have been in this media platform, are doing whatever you can also to make sure that our people are properly informed and guided. Regardless, it may look like nobody's listening or watching us, but I can tell you that the whole world is watching. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mazi. I would have just suggested you move your camera a bit because you are too close. You are too close to your camera. If you can move a little bit, yeah. Okay, yes. I think
My
your
voice is
camera
coming out.
is a bit high. It's a bit high, but notwithstanding, if there is a way you can readjust so that our people can have a better view of your face, and uh, it's okay. I think no, you have completely shifted.
Hold
You
on,
have
just
completely shifted, but no, you
okay.
have completely shifted it
Just one
away
second.
from you. I will urge the technical director to bring me forward. Yes. So yes, I think you're much better now. So I want to proceed because we've just stepped into a new year, and I believe that you are getting me, Mazia Izayo. But we've just stepped into a new year, and as a member of the Directorate of State, how has it been working with the Directorate of State in 2025? We know that the Directorate of State and indigenous people of Biafra generally faced series of issues for the past 3 years, but we'll be coming to that. But how has it been? We know that the year have just started, and but Biafrans will know how it is as at today working as a member of the Directorate of State and also a deputy European representative for the indigenous people of Biafra.
Thank you again, Mazi. And of course, without taking much of the time, of course, as I have previously just said just a while ago, this is 2025. We can't tell you that we have done so much now in this 2025 because we only just get into it. All right. And I can tell you there's a lot of also engagement. Of course, the European rep have engaged the national coordinators within the EU, uh, and they have had a lot of discussions and review of what have been going on, and the new instruction has been given. And freedom fighting, as we all know, is not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. It requires a lot of consistency and mental toughness. Mental toughness is very, very important. And what I can tell you that the leadership have been doing in the last few months now is just to also to engage to make sure that all the continental reps engage the principal officers, which are the grassroots of this movement. Without our coordinators and the national coordinators, I don't think there is much anyone can do. So it's very, very important that IPOB leadership is strategizing, engaging the principal officers and all the national coordinators, in which our messages are going through that channel. So so far so good. As I said, this year of 2025 is a promising year. We are looking forward to make sure that all the things that were not done right in the last few years, some of them will be also put to in a very, very correct way. It does not mean that the leadership have not been doing everything right, which everyone knows, even to just save IPOB family after the massive invasion we had in the last 3 years. You will know that if not the the strength and the mental toughness of the IPOB leadership, this movement would have been nowhere to be found today. So it's a very good thing that IPOB leadership have, made sure that this boat that have rocked for a very long time, and a lot of will I say feeble-minded fell off the boat. A lot of them, decided to jump out and join into the bandwagon. Some of them decided just to abandon the ship. But in that regard, the leadership have remained very, very strong and also engage properly with the principal officers as far as I can see. So this is very, very much important, and other things will follow suit as IPOB leadership have gone back to their drawing board. One good thing is that one of those heavy distractions have been put to rest now, at least. It was a very, very heavy distraction that came from the blue, which our people have not seen anything like that before. You and I, that have been in the struggle for a very, very long time, have seen turbulences of this kind of situation we had faced this time before, and we managed to overcome it. But this time around, a lot of our people never seen anything like this before. Even though that some of them listen to our leader Mazi Kanu, warning them that the few weeks and months ahead will be very, very tough. But some of them did not take cognizance of that. If I'm allowed to say that, they were not paying serious attention that enemy can clone a look-alike, someone that can look like you, that can be doing something that look like your own interest, and then they will use it to trick you, then to delay you from the real direction which we are going, that is yielding a massive fruit. So this is one thing our people did not understand. And like I said, if the leadership have not, and so some principal officers like you that have been there, you've been one time national secretary of IPOB in Italy. If people like you haven't paid their attention and listen and experience, have a good experience in this movement, I think probably you wouldn't have been here to this very moment and also addressing this issue. That is why it's very good to have people who have experience, people who are elderly, or will I call them, elite, if you like, in a movement or in a society like this, that can guide the younger ones. The young ones who just joined recently did not understand the effort. So they fell out, they think everything is gone, which was the real work of the enemy. So in that regard, IPOB leadership have managed to at least, put that kind of will I say, reassurance on our people. And now we are here telling our people it was invasion, and they have seen it. It was invasion that caused a lot of life and a lot of damages. Now we are into new 2025, new year, which is never, never, ever again going to be like previous years and last year. So at least, as I said, this is a new year, and there's a new leaves now that is, on the horizon.
Yeah, Mazi, yes, just like you said, you are right, because at every point in time in this struggle, we have seen waves and waves, just like you look at the ocean, it comes in waves. If you are not well grounded, the wave will sweep you over. And we have seen people being swept at every point in time. Since 2015, we've seen waves of, issues, catastrophes, and at every point in time, people get swept off their feet, and it had been a long experience like you alluded. I know that the Directorate of State is facing on a daily basis series of challenges. No doubt, because it's not easy to coordinate a global movement where you have coordinators in different countries, continental reps, and having that central command where you have to give instructions, make sure that these instructions are obeyed, and also be able to follow through to some of the policies that are being put in place. By the way, on February 2nd, I'll be hosting the Deputy Directorate of State. Mazi Zurumi came here on BTV. So I'm going to reserve certain questions to him. Some of the questions I'm going to reserve are going to be for his office, specifically, while I'm going to put certain questions across to you, especially when it has to do with activities within Europe, where you deputize as the representative. Now, what have been the major challenges of the Directorate of State, and the relationship you all enjoy? Because we know that there are certain members of the Directorate of State who at some point were also removed from their position, so to say, considering the fact that probably they no longer fall in line with certain principles. From the time Mazi Kanu was rendition from Kenya, a lot of things went on, and some members of the Directorate of State were kept by the side. We understand the reasons so that the major body will be able to remain focused, pending possibly when Mazi Kanu will be out, which we hope very soon. How has it been, your working relationship with the body as it stands today? How has it been working together within this structure that exists as the Directorate of State as it stands today?
Yes, Mazi, thank you again. It hasn't been easy to work in the Department of IPOB Directorate of State, as the case may be, because when you hear Directorate of State, which is DOS, people think it's one individual, and that is what makes it more robust and more well organized than any other thing can you imagine. So is how if I have to look it from the other way around, which we have not officially announced that yet, because that is as time goes on, that will manifest its own on its own. Why am I saying this? Is the DOS, or the Directorate of State, is more or less or a kind of mini government of the movement, if you like, because from this DOS, there are a lot of connections of different kinds of department that made it why it's called the Directorate of State, now headed by Mazi Ikem. Now, not how is it easy for him to coordinate that or to be a member of this Directorate of State? One is the people who are members of the Directorate of State are living in different continents, almost 7 continents across the globe, and different time zones. Some of them will be, as we are in the evening time here now, some is in the midnight, some of them in early morning, some have gone into the midday of tomorrow. So it's a very challenging thing to engage everyone at the same time, but knowing the full commitment and the importance of what we are doing, just to make sure that Biafra is restored. Everyone that serves in IPOB uh, DOS, is a well committed individual that have paid a lot of sacrifice, financially, time, family sacrifice, and everything you can imagine. Some of them will not tell you what they are going through until, by the special grace of God, once this battle is won and Biafra is restored, a lot of them are going to write a book. Some of them will probably come on a Biafran national TV as we are right now, tell their story, what they've been through, both family issues, children's issues. Is a very, mental challenge, department to be in. I can tell you, honestly speaking, it's not an easy thing because being a continental rep, you also have to deal with a lot of, national coordinators, zonal coordinators, unit coordinators, and also, local government coordinators. It depends on the kind of structure you have in your continent, and at the same time, you're getting some of this report and you're also coming to the leadership. And if there is one that the whole leadership have to debate and look into what happened and get solution to it, they will deal with it. The head of the directorate will like someone meeting and make sure that all the matters are looked into. And if it's something that will consume more time than required, some of them can be now pushed to other departments like CRC, Conflict Resolution Committee. Then they will handle that and now get back to the leadership, to the head of the directorate now to announce or to implement or to make a final ruling on that. So it has never been an easy department to deal with because you're dealing with the different kinds of people, different kinds of understanding, different kinds of mentalities, and you have to pay attention to every information that is coming, not to neglect any of those because that could cause a lot of distraction, mainly at this critical time we are in. Now, coming to the other one that you have asked about, some of the members of the directors that have been sacked, like Mazi Ikem and all the rest of them, and there are standards, rules, and standard that is guiding the leadership. So once you fall below those standards, it may be considered threat because we are not here just for ourselves. As far as I'm concerned, we are not here doing something that is of our personal interest. We are talking about nearly 100 million people, both home and abroad. A particular race that have up to that population, so you have to remove self-aggrandizement and self-sentiment. So you have to focus on the mass movement, on the mass, what I said, mass relationship, so that you don't take some things as you yourself personally sees it. So you have to put a lot of things in consideration. And there are some of the individual that coming out from Nigeria that doesn't have this type of discipline. Despite how long they have been in abroad, they don't have this kind of discipline. They want things to be, to be implemented their own way, like Uchemefo have pushed for IPOB to declare government in exile, which the leadership have considered a lot of things, both Mazi and Nnamdi Kanu, how we are in a whole meeting considered a lot of things, that it's not yet the time. It's not yet the time to implement that type of government. We need to uh, sensitize our people. We need to know the mindset of our people if they are actually ready or if they have already fallen in line in what this movement is meant for, before you can implement such a thing. Otherwise, it will be like how many government in exile they have declared in the last, will I say, 20 years now. Both Wazirike's one and the one that former government in exile in America, even before the birth of IPOB and all the rest of it. And now they have come to this one now, which you also see that have fallen apart all over the place now. A government that kills their own children like Nigeria is doing. They form the one that actually, isn't it ironic, Mazi, that Uchemefo is the former deputy leader of this movement, all right? And he was expelled due to let's say, insubordination and the betrayal of trust and other things that surrounds it. And now he went and joined um, another, will I say, enemy of our people, and then become a secretary there. And somebody he was a secretary has come all the time on social media, declare Igbos must be wiped out, wielding their AK-47 in the open. If I were to be him, honestly, I would not ever come on social media and utter any word. Because Ucheme, from when he was with us, he was against everything that has to do with the violence. He was against it. He know that IPOB is never of violent. They always want to go through the normal self-determination processes. Now he himself now abandoned IPOB, went and joined somebody who he is a secretary to, coming out on the open and threatening and calling for genocide against Ndib, which is this guy, Asare. And he himself will come out in the open and be blackmailing IPOB, calling them IPONK, calling them all these kinds of names. The same guy went and appear on autopilot, fundraising. He also know that the leader of autopilot or the ruler of autopilot is also being, arrested for terrorism. Isn't it? Now you can understand that removing him from IPOB leadership or IPOB DOS is really, really justified, because people did not understand when this thing happened. They were thinking that people want to, there are particular people who want to remain in the leadership. There are people who want to take over. There are this, there are that. And this thing, they begin to carry rumors and everything all over the place. And now look at the same Ucheme for now. All of them we are supporting at the time when he was removed. When he was removed, people were saying that this is a injustice. IPOB is doing this and doing that. There is somebody who is black, and this is a guy now who is a secretary to Asare the Kobo government in exile that have come out in the public and called for the massacring of Igbo people, not only calling for massacring of Igbo people, we even gone all over the place on the social media. And this is somebody who is defending. And the same autopilot that have been declared that have murdered people. You can now see that the IPOB leadership knows what they are doing. Once they perceive anything that is threat against the people, they will always react on it. Now, this has been also a kind of proof. If people are doubting the integrity and the resilience of those who are serving in IPOB leadership, they will now know that they meant well for our people. Thank you very much, Mazi.
Thank you very much. Yes, I wouldn't want us to dwell much on Ucheme in this program, so that we will not be distracted from our discussion, because we all know that it is quite a long story, and unfortunately, we have seen some level of compromises here and there on his part, simply showing that he does not have any specific guiding principle. Um, considering the role he has played, working with Asare Dokubo, and also being a patriotic secret member of the autopilot that have actually committed a lot of crime against our people, uh, which he, at the time that at the launch of ESN, said that he wasn't ready to be part of defending our people in the bush, but he ended up becoming part of a gang.
Those are that are not
Yes,
people.
so but I don't want us to dwell on that,
Yes,
because
yes, Mazi, just the reason why, because you ask a question why some members of DOS were, removed from the DOS or sacked, if I'm allowed to use that word. And that's I now give example, because Uchemefo was a member of DOS, and the reason he was sacked, he has now displayed that before everyone. In case if people were asking, or people are still, playing what do you call it? Having a soft spot for the guy. So it is your questions that lead me to explain to certain individuals. Like I wouldn't want to go to the whole lot of them, George Oniba and all the rest of them that have been sacked from the IPO video. And you can see the activities today. They are the one that are actually supporting those who are murdering us back home. Maz, are you there? All right. Okay. So I was saying, that the question he asked is what I try to explain to our people here, so they will understand that once IPOB leadership says something, people should also pay attention to the details of why they take any action they take it, because no individual in the US will ever that ever come out and make any declaration on anything that will hurt our people. They always consider a lot of deliberation goes into the leadership. It's not a place of one individual's showmanship. No, Mas. Thank
Thank
you,
you very much,
Biafrans.
Mazi. That was absolutely clear. Just like we said earlier, that we've seen series of turbulence here and there, and it is quite understandable the challenges the leadership have to face when it comes to dealing and managing the daily activities of IPOB. How has the leadership have managed its own internal challenges? Yes, Mazi Ikem is out. I wish that he returns back for us to continue, because I would like to ask him how has the leadership outside managing the structures, how has the leadership been able to manage its own internal challenges? Because we know that it's never perfect when you have very intelligent people coming together to dialogue on issues that there are points definitely where you have to have certain level of disagreement here and there, trying to find a way in resolving issues. How has the leadership and the directorate of state been able to manage some of these internal differences when it comes to trying to deliberate and make decisions for the struggle? I don't know if Mazi Ikem is there. Okay. Yes. Do you understand the question I was trying to ask?
Yeah, the question is, I get you, but partly I think I have also explained that in my previous, presentation here. The leadership working, how they manage internal issues. As I said, we have all the zonal coordinators,
No, 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 no,
zonal.
no. That you've answered that. But when it comes to, like I said, when you have men, women coming together to make deliberation. For example, there is a topic on the table, and you see people deliberating. The Directorate of State deliberating. You are not. I believe that you are not all just going to agree in tandem.
Mm.
There are some people are going to see things differently. They are going to have different views, and people are going to within the directorate say, obviously, because these are very intelligent people. You do not expect them to agree uh, at all time on issues. Now, when you have your disagreement deliberating on issues, how do you manage some of these internal disagreement and differences?
Mazi, I must tell you the honest truth. In IPOB internal hierarchies, as I said, I will tell you now, 99%, let's say, if I'm allowed to use that, let me just give it 98% of all the IPOB leadership understand the reason why we are in the leadership in the first place. Understanding there is very, very crucial to whatever we are doing. This is not a place of politics that you have to play politics of interest. Everyone concerns there is our people back home. That is the main fear factor of being together as a people coming from different continents and trying to mediate and also find a way to protect our land. So nobody has any personal interest or looking at somebody, this person, why you're doing this. And I think there is something you're looking to gain from this. You want to push this to your own side so that you benefit either financially or otherwise. So there is nothing like that. This is my own personal observation. So there hasn't been any kind of a squabbling when it comes to decision making. Everybody will bring their honest understanding and what they think that is right, the best way forward. And once it makes sense to everyone, everyone agrees. There's no kind of backbiting. And those who have ulterior motive also have been kicked out already because and the people have seen the reason why they have been removed from the movement because like I said, it's all about our people, the safety and the protection of our race. That's what matters to everyone, every individual that is in the IPOB leadership. That's my own personal observation.
So,
And
so,
if there
so,
is
so,
anything,
Mazi, what you are saying is that at every point in time, that the issue of our people is paramount when it comes to, that the issue of our people are put forward without making personal, without any personal interest whatsoever.
exactly, Mas. I will tell you 99.999% is just for our people, nothing more, nothing less. I have not observed any kind of personal interest whenever we are having our meeting, except those who are criminally minded somehow, which I don't know. I don't want to mention much names here, but people like George Enyibe that is, one of those reasons Mazi Nnamdi Kanu always say that a hungry man cannot do freedom fighting. Some of them, are depending on what they will gain from IPOB because they see how those in diaspora love our people back home, and sometimes they want to play on that sentiment just to see what they can gain on individuals. But apart from that, all the members of DOS, most of them, they are eating well. They are not hungry people. They are well established wherever they are, so they put more of their time, more of their effort, more of everything they have with their family. It's not easy. There are some meetings that can last almost 7 hours. So you can imagine somebody working and you are in a meeting of 7 hours just talking about the well-being of our people, the concern of our people, everything that has to do with our people. So it's not an easy meeting to have sometimes. Anytime DOS have meeting, they will not spend anything between 5 to 7 hours, and you know what that is in Europe. And these people, like I said, nobody is being paid. None of them is being paid, so they put their time and money. So that's why that kind of misunderstanding doesn't really, exist there. Everybody will talk their heart, bring suggestion that will benefit our people much more than personal interest. So this is my own little observation in the DOS and IPOB leadership.
Thank you very much. It's important that we ask some of these questions because people who are from outside looking at the DOS might not understand how the Directorate of State function internally. So that is why it's important that when we ask some of these questions, it gives us the opportunity to explain better to our people and our audience how the director, especially how it is structured presently, where a lot of people who could no longer function were being removed prior to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kidnap in Kenya and post his kidnap from Kenya. So I believe that that cordial relationship is there. And despite the fact that at some point we also saw some people say that the DOS have become a cabal. And I believe that making that reference as a cabal attests to the cordial relationship you all enjoy within the circle to be able to push the interests of our people forward. Now, we have seen a lot of Biafra, not just me, have seen you very, very prominent in the media. Do you double yourself also, apart from being a member of the Directorate of State, do you see double as a media warrior?
Maz, that's a very, very interesting question. Maz, I'm not a media warrior, neither a media personnel. I am just, when you love your people so much, you can do whatever you can just to see through the suffering of our people. You and I knows there here that we do not have money here, but somehow we are living comfortably. So seeing me on media once in a while is just the passion and love I have for my people. I'm not being paid; it's my time, and it's my also money that How can I help our people? So this is why you see me sometimes there, and I can see our people sometimes very vulnerable. Man, you must have seen that yourself. That our people are vulnerable. There is no one speaking for them when they cry. They don't hear from anybody. Our elders back home are not speaking out. Our politicians are not defending. They are not speaking out. Sometimes going to social media, seeing the ordeal our people going through as a race, sometimes it bothers. Nobody in their right mind will go to bed and sleep comfortably once you go out there on the social media or once you put a call across home. You'll be hearing all this sad news and all this um, situation our people going through. So it's a kind of a way of creating awareness of what our race are going through that nobody's talking about it. BBC doesn't speak about it. CNN doesn't speak about it. Nobody tell our own story except if not some of us that are here that is actually creating those awareness. That's why you see me sometimes when I look at those things, I will be heartbreaking and I will just come out to see, create awareness. Those who are not paying attention to what their fellow Biafrans are going through back home will begin now to pay attention, and we also wake the our people mind, our people minds up, and also the emancipation as well, which we have seen a lot of results today. If not, there are people that are speaking, people on the social media like us that are speaking, which we are not doing content. We don't receive anything, nothing whatsoever. Our page are not monetized whatsoever. So um, if not the things we are doing, our people will never understand the danger and the kind of politics they've been played and how much they've been hated. P2B is a prime example of what has happened to our people and the massacring of our people on a daily basis on notice. So a lot of people are not speaking out. So that's why you see me sometimes being also in this Biafra restoration movement and a part of it. Oga Brumhiaro to see something going wrong and how our people are being annihilated all over the place, then I will keep quiet and I will be going to my work pretending like it doesn't concern me. I'm no longer there. So whatever that is going on there, let it continue since they are not paying attention. So that's why you see me sometimes I will come out also to voice out and speak for those who could not
And
find
make
their
your
way.
own contribution.
Yeah, exactly. So that is why you
Yes.
see me.
Talking about the media, we have seen certain controversial issues that are related to
Mm,
religion and Christian religion specifically.
mm, mm,
Uh, and we have seen you on many occasions come out, to voice your opinion
mm,
on the issue of Christian religion This one now is a direct personal question, because there are a lot of people who believe that there is a war against Christianity within the IPOB circle. A lot of people believe that certain individuals have hijacked IPOB to fight religious battle. Can you give us a little clarity on on this assumption and your position when it has to do with religion? Because it's very, very important that some of these issues are put into a better perspective to possibly correct wrong impressions, especially on your own personal stand when it has to do with the issue of Christian religion in Biafra struggle. Yes.
Yes, Mazi, thank you again. The issue of religion is something that also give me concern of the damage it has caused to our people. People may not understand it. First of all, I'm somebody that is very, very religious. Looking at my name, you will know the kind of family background in which I come from. So it's not even that the struggle has to do, the struggle that I'm in has anything to do with it. When I was back home between 30 years ago, okay, there are some observations that I've made then back home, which I have searched for an answer. Remember, there is no internet in those days back home. You cannot make any further research. There's no library where you can go and do research and read and check some certain things that is not taught in your school. So we were kind of being put in in a particular direction that you do not have any solution or question if you get a bit confused, because those who introduce that type of act has ulterior motive. They want you to, end in a particular way, which will be very destructive to yourself, your race, and to the society. Now, if you come to my community where I come from, I can count, as younger as I am that time, you can count about 16, about 10 to 20 ladies who were not married, because they said they married to a particular, foreign, introduction they gave them. Why is that a concern? In those days, I remember when Deeper Life Church started making their wave into our areas, because it came very late. I think they said that it was found in 1973, almost immediately after the war, but in Yoruba land. But it started making wave, within 1990, down upwards. That's the time this kind of religion started coming into our place. And it wasn't there before the war. It wasn't like this. That's why our people were able to mobilize themselves to counter the invasion of the army of destruction. Because if it was there, like the way we are seeing it now, you can see the difficulties we are countering now. People are living in delusion and in self-denial. That is what we are countering now. You see danger, you say that something else will protect you, and you will die in process. Another person will become also be waiting for his death. It's like we've been sentenced with this particular type of atmosphere that they introduce
That is
us.
a kind of committing your fight to God to come and fight for you.
Exactly. So, Mazi, in those days, so I saw there is very striking thing which I have been asking the question in those days before I managed to find myself in the Western world. Some young ladies who some of these Deeper Life, because these are the churches that are actually coming with will I say, that is ravaging our own area at that time. Deeper Life and the other ACU and the charismatic, they start coming. And when these churches were coming, all right, our young ladies those days, as a teenager, those days. You see, once they get encounter with this particular type of Christianity or religion, they became rebel to their parents. They become troublesome to the family. They become a thorn in the flesh of the families, because they said they have found a new trend for them. Prayer warriors, they call themselves. They begin to leave the family activities, and now, focusing totally on this new doctrine they have been introduced. So they start seeing their parents as people who are not believers, who doesn't want them to go to heaven. It becomes a very contagious disease that is
And
spreading rapidly within.
a divisive kind of
Exactly. So I was seeing that as a youth. The boys were a little bit laid back, but the girls were completely taken away from their parents. This is what I was seeing that time, without even knowing all these things. And I knew as a young boy growing up that there's something wrong with this. You cannot say because you have joined a new doctrine, your parents become your enemy, your brothers become your enemy, everybody in the family become your enemy because you think that they are not doing it. Somebody have brainwashed you. Now you refuse now to be answerable to your father. Your father will give instruction, you won't carry it out to your mother. And a lot of parents lost their children. Some of them have, you see, is looking at their children slipping away right before in front of them, and no one to help. And I knew this is something is wrong with this. There is something wrong in this particular religion. But who can clarify this situation, this wave of new trend of churches that is coming into our society now, disconnecting us from Ebamba and Abanolo, disconnecting us from community cohesion and working together, summoning community meeting, and the boys will come out, the girls will be sitting at the background and watching how.
so obviously trying to detach the people from their culture.
Exactly. So personally, even me being a member of Assemblies of God, I knew something is wrong. And these children will be going to night vigil or all night, whatever they can't cook anymore in the family. They become a rep. They become a very terrible, will I say, tone on the flesh of the families. It doesn't only affect the parents, it affects everybody in that family that does not agree with them. So now, coming to abroad, as time goes on, I'm still in church even till today. But then I begin to do some little research. I begin access to some information after the internet become easy for us to have access to. And then what exploded the whole thing is when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came on Radio Biafra. Then I discovered Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Or at the same way I was doing some researches and then discover the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And then find out the time he's doing program in the US. Sometimes he'll be broadcasting from US. Sometimes he'll be broadcasting from London. Sometimes once in a day. There are sometimes he goes twice in a day. So I begin to pay attention. And once he says something, he will say, go and do research. He will say something, he will not explain it to the to the best way you want to understand. He will ask you, go and do research about this. And when I do research, I discover a lot of disturbing things that you cannot post them on social media. The way the slave happened, those who were involved, church were heavily involved in the slavery back home. Church were involved in a lot of atrocities committed against our people. Killing of twins, the church were involved. Salasia, Mary Salasia was the one, which is a BBC reporter, a British BBC reporter, was the one that spread this fake news. The Douglas you are seeing in Owerri today, the Douglas Road, massacred a lot of Mbise people. Go and check. Douglas, you're looking at, they gave a name of our street in Owerri today, massacred thousands of our people. He leveled Mbise from Ayazu to Mbi. He leveled the whole entire Mbise. He used the British Army. That's a story of another day. All right. So there's a lot of things that I discovered. I said, my goodness me. And now, even also looking at the way these people are also displaying the inhuman treatment of our people on the internet today, saying that they're doing deliverance. Mazi, it's only a mad person. In fact, almost 30 years of my life in Europe, I have been working with white people. The whole entire time of my time in Europe, I've been working with white people. And I have seen how they reason, how they solve problems, going back to the root of the cause of the problem, rather than cutting it on the top. So, and I have seen how they have protected their society and also protect what their culture. Then I start comparing those things that they're doing with our own, and also seeing some of our eight feast in European museums here and there,
Artifacts. The artifacts.
artifacts, and I'll be asking myself, some of these things we are missing in my community. There is one that they cut their neck, they break the neck and carry the head of the Ikro, the one that they're stationed in the market. 3 of them, their head were removed. It happens in my presence, and all of them were found here in Europe. Somebody paid our people to come and remove those things, cut their heads, and it happens across Imo State and the Igbo land. Anybody who is aware of this thing, these stories that I'm telling you, 1990s and stuff, it's a wave of things that happened within the whole.
Mazi, you know, the issue of religion is an
Mm,
elaborate discussion. And
yeah,
it's not something we can handle, completely on this program. Uh, I would like
yes, yes,
uh,
yes, yes.
I would like the number to be put on the screen because we are going to start taking calls. Please, number on the screen +39 388 177 9665 +39 388 177 9665. I hope that that number comes on board so that we'll give our people the opportunity to call in, make their contribution, and also ask their question if the need be. I know that religion had been, especially when it comes to the Bible. I was a Bible student. I also participated in a lot of religious activities growing up. Uh, the way the Christian religion penetrated the entire eastern region and the Igbo land, it was and it's still massive. But I believe that as much as we understand the damages, we also have seen how the operators of this religion have taken advantage of the poverty, how they've taken advantage of the ignorance, and they've taken advantage of the situation our people have found themselves by
Mm,
trying to. That is why I said it is an elaborate discussion. People merchandising product like olive oil, water, and candle, and some of these things, you know, presenting them as a
man,
source of solution to uh, uh, physical problems and problems that are resolvable by human capacity and reasoning. So it's not an issue because it's a very, very huge topic. If we continue to dig
man,
into, yes, go ahead.
just in addition to that, I have no issue. Like I'm once one of people who are living in delusion and in denial in this religion. So I'm not talking from outside. I'm not saying that I'm criticizing, or just I'm talking from the experience, and also somebody who have been an insider of this, who was born inside this kind of doctrine and grew up and realized that I've been told lie. I've been misleaded. I've wasted a lot of resources. Nobody can give tithe how much I used to give in a church. I give 100% tithe and offering. Now, the most painful part of this, Mazi, the most painful part of this, which I wish I could have reversed the hand clock back, that would have helped me a lot. The most painful part of it, even though that I tried my best, I brought my mom to overseas. So for information, so in case I'm saying something that people think that I didn't do anything, so I have to explain that I brought my mom here and he spent a lot of time with me. So single-handedly I did it, so, but the opportunity that I would have spent with my mom, the wealth that I would have spent with the woman that gave birth to me, carry me in her back, go in the toil in the sun, toil in the rain, make sure that I did not die out of diseases, grew me up, send me to school, until I grew up, find my way in Europe. No other person helped me other than my family and my parents. None other helped me. The very first of my money, earned money here in the Western world, should have gone directly to my parents, those who suffered heavily, those who make sure that I survive and grow up as an adult. But these people who contributed nothing, anybody here can come here and tell me, from your child, your mom gave birth to you, how does these people connected to you? Were they there when you were sick, your mom were nursing you to grow up? Were they there when your mommy were selling everything, going to bush and doing everything that she can do just to raise money to send you to school? They were not there. You grow up and they will say that you should give them the 10% of what you have earned instead of giving that to your mom, who could have allowed nature to destroy you. You see, this is a sacrilege these people have make us to commit against our parents. Now, my mom is not here today. The little time I managed to bring her here, that was I feel it wasn't enough for me. The so-called men of God and pastors, they ate the largest wealth, suffering that I made than my parents, who gave everything for me. It's a sacrilege, and this thing must stop. We should look after our parents. You should pay attention to those who meant well for us. Those community brothers and sisters, uncles and friends who were there when you were growing up. You remember in those days, once something happened in a community, if you're going somewhere and do something bad, your community people, once they spotted you out there, they said that this is a child of this person. When we go home, we will tell your parents what the nonsense you're doing, nuisance you're committing and you will never come home that day, because you know that your community brother, your community relative have seen you outside doing something stupid. And this is why we remain who we are till this adult now. And now look at this generation who did not experience that this so-called church pastors have taken over to. Look at the kind of mindset of the generation we have now is exhibiting back home. Now, we are not against, like I said, I'm not against any religion or whatsoever. I'm not against it. If religion, if Christianity have brought us together at the face of adversary, I will have no problem, honestly, despite everything that that have done to us. But the whole thing is that it has divided families. It has created enmities in the community. It has created enmity in the family. It has detached us. It has break umbilical cord that held us together as a people, as a race, as a brothers and sisters. This is where they stay there and they sow a seed of discord. Somebody will tell you that your mother doesn't want your successful. Your success, your father or your relative, your uncle doesn't, your community members doesn't want your success. When we know in those days that before somebody will go to oversee, the community will come around and contribute money and send one of them to go oversee and study and come back and come and establish. And these people came all of a sudden in this early 90s and cut those things that have protected us all this while, that have made us to survive the 1967 war, genocidal war. So these are the things we are trying to educate our people. Go back to our roots. We have been saying go back to our roots. People were condemning us for saying that, using that word. But Mark Zuckerberg have come recently now. Him and Deba like he can do chapel. So Mark Zuckerberg had come recently now. You the same exact word going back to your root. That some of these so-called believers condemning us using the word that we're saying we're going back to. Who told you that?
You said that Mark Zuckerberg have been following some of your debates online.
He watches when we speak now. He's not stupid. Ndo Chadek is stupid, Mazi. Ndo Chadek is selfish. When they otherwise they would have removed us from social media now. They know that they are learning as well. And that's why you see some of them now also they speaks. Mark Zuckerberg did not speak that out of the blue. They are the one that is censoring our messages sometimes. But all of a sudden, he come out. He would have used other words now and explain himself. But he used the same exact word that we're using here, going back to your roots. Now, would they condemn it? They wouldn't, because he come from Wabeke now. You know, I have said it here, and I must repeat it in this program. If they want, let them take it or not. If the so-called Jesus is to come to this world as a black man will reject it. Obia as Onishoji, believe me, a black man will reject it. This is exactly how they're rejecting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. They don't understand the work he came to do. And somebody, they brought a look-alike, a fake, who came and within the space of 3 years, more than 5 to 10,000 Igbo men and women have been destroyed. Houses that worth billions of dollars and nairas have been destroyed because of they brought a fake to use it to fight you, and he did not detect it.
Obviously, because wherever you have original, there will always be counterfeit. So
Exactly.
now that brings us to the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We saw the post that has to do with Sheyi Tinubu and the negotiation they had with the siblings of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When you got that message, what was your reaction?
Maz, I'm going to take a little
But,
bit
but
time now.
before you respond to that, I want to also remind our people that the number to call is on the screen. For those of you who want to call and who feel you have a contribution to make, the number is on the screen. Plus 3938, because we'll be running off this program very soon. Plus 3938817796665. Call in, ask your question, or make your contribution. Mazi, go ahead.
Mazi, I'm going to take a little bit time now just to explain this. It's something that need a lot of time, but let me just break it just as much, in piece by piece, as much as I can. The Sai and his father led the most smartest game and politics on our people than anyone you have ever come across in so-called Sub-Saharan Africa. Okay? And it's a very, very disturbing one. We try, IPOB leadership, they know how to exercise patience. And that is why what we are trying to explain to our people here. In a situation like this, of this kind of movement that is very sensitive, listening and discipline is very, very important. And also, learning how to follow instructions and leadership is very, very important, which our people have lacked this for many, many years. I don't blame them. They've lacked this coordination and leadership after the war. There's nobody that our people have that to represent our people back home and also on the international stage, which I have already said this several times, both in my presentation and also on Radio Biafra. If our people have had somebody who is speaking for them, both home and abroad, it would have been easy to be able to coordinate our people. They were allowed to be run like headless chicken for many years, and this pastor also find opportunity to take the whole space and pull everybody, drag as much crowd as they want, and they've been brainwashed and been given different sort of prophecies. Each one is given his own
Mazi,
follower.
but the question I asked you was about the Sheyi
Say
Tinubu and
yes,
Mazi
yes,
Nnamdi
yes, Mazi.
Kanu
Yes,
this
yes, Mazi. I'm coming to
controversial
that.
deal. But before
Yes,
you
I am.
proceed, let us take our first caller. I hope that this caller will not distract us from this
Hmm.
interaction on this particular topic, but notwithstanding, because I know more calls will be coming in while we proceed. Hello, caller. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mazi Patrick. Good evening from here.
Yeah, good evening. Tell us your name and where you are calling from, please.
My name is Eke Carlo. I was listening to your program this evening. In fact, what got me interested is when you mentioned Uche Mefo. I want to ask Mazi Azayoba, don't you think that Uche Mefo is an infiltrator? Because coming the way I see Uche, there was a time our leader was on a program. He said that one of us was arrested, that we should pray for him. And within a short time, we never told everybody that it was Uche Mefo, his deputy, who was arrested. But as time goes on, we find out that it was Uche Mefo. And after that arrest, to me as a person, I see it as when the British M16 recruited Uche Mefo to become an giving every information about IPOB to the British intelligence. He was there to me, serving as double agent. Mind you, it was Uche Mefo who recruited George Onyibe. And George Onyibe, within 1 month of his recruitment, he was also blackmailed. He was arrested even when we all never knew that George Onyibe was the African rep. Then he was also persuaded to, the way my own personal analysis, the way I am, that was what was happening with us since then. That Uche Mefo has always been there as an infiltrator and has always been there to give information to the British government, and at the same time pass the information down to Nigeria. Any move that IPOB want to make, before you would start it, already the information will be already at ground. So they cannot carry out that thing again. Thank you, and well done for your good job.
Thank you very much. Mazi, before we go back, I don't want us to dwell much on Uche Mefo on this particular program. He has made his point. Quite understandable. I'm not in a position to make any conclusion as regards to Uche Mefo being an infiltrator or the role he has played. Because we also remember, how he fought very hard when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was detained. Maybe I don't know. But I want us to address the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's siblings and the Sheyi Tinubu agreement. Caller, hold on, please. We'll be back to you. Yeah, Mazi.
Okay. As I was saying earlier, I need a lot of time to analyze what happened. Probably in the next coming days or weeks, if I have time, I will do that. But let me just give a kind of synopsis here. As I said, that Tinubu played Sayi played a very smart game to protect his dad. Which is very, very disturbing. That they found a soft spot to play that game, which I will explain this in a layman's understanding now. The father was contesting for election, and with IPOB in presence, I'm just going to break it in just in a halfway, and IPOB have become something that is disturbing them in the East. And due to, as I said before, our Igbo politicians, or will I say the Eastern politicians, both from the coastal region and upland, our people do not understand politics. I've said this several times. They don't understand politics. They don't understand it. They don't know what is politics. They play politics of self-destruction. And because they are ignorant of the reality of life, this is why everybody is in a mess. Every other race in Nigeria play a very safe politics that of the interest of their own people. It's only when it comes to the East, which I don't know. Don't want to go. I don't want our program here to be diverted, as you said, for something else. I would have said that a lot of this issue of church and religion we're talking about is a part of it, because our people, we are just misinformed not to face the reality of life. As I said before, if anything happens now, what will be the future of the generation of the East? Nothing. There's no plan whatsoever. No plan whatsoever in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years, in the next 15 to 20 years. There is no plan whatsoever in the whole entire East. Now, look at Ndofeman. They have been putting a lot of things in place, building their Lagos, their Dubai in Lagos. You can see their money. You can see how both putting trends.
They were even able to build their own security structure, which is what
Exactly.
that
Exactly.
if the governors they have the authority, they have the mandate, they have the capacity to have been able to come together to protect our land, but they failed. That gave birth
Exactly.
to Leicester.
Now, Mazi, now I'm coming. That's why I needed a time to build the background before hitting this question. Now you ask me, but let me just say, I'm going to attack. Now, looking at the structure, when these people are setting up their places, they played a very intelligent one. They have their Motokun, they have their Oduduwa movement. Mazi, all these things are geared to what is the interest of their people now to seize power. Get that? Just to seize power. I'm just making a summary of this because I don't go to the full details. I'm not gonna happen here. So now they have planned all these years. They have where they are going, which is the East don't have where they are going. The North, the Fulanis, has where they are going, but they are riding at the back of the houses to achieve that. The Yorubas, the government that understand this game, also plan their own. Now in the East, there is nothing like that. It's only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that understand what is unfolding, and he started galvanizing and start building our people. And now thinking that our politicians and our political elites and the community leaders will understand and tap on that, they missed it. Now, what happened? Tinubu played a smart game. Now, for him to legitimize his or solidify his presidency, he need to do something. He went and tapped on the back of Amotokun that had been in place. Now, on when the hand send the signal, there are people hand send the signal. Who are the people hand send the signal? The colonial masters who they when Nigeria, as the case may be, and also sending signal to Ndi Fulani, also who are the main juggernauts of the into the arena. So now, one in essence, you know now, and well, let me na my area. Either you agree or you don't agree. Abasa the whole thing. Now he played this particular game very, very well, and he make use of everything that is available. I'm coming to the question you ask now. Just pay attention. He make use of everything that is available for him. How did he make use of them? He make use of Oduduwa. Then Ibuho was there. You understand? Ibuho was there leading the Oduduwa movement. The Amotokun was formed as the police and the paramilitary of the Oduduwa in case if the East didn't go, now what will go? Now, what did he do? In order to carry every support that he requires, even though that now is somebody that have a history Ndị ofe mmanụ, ụmụnne ya knows that he has a history of bad as a bad child. Let me put it that way. Okay, so they couldn't have trusted him. But for him to get where he's going without too much stress, he went and paid allegiance to his people by going to Oduduwa convention, sit down there, sang Oduduwa national anthem that is different from Nigerian national anthem he's going to represent or he's contesting with. Do you see that? Now, Oduduwa was here as a obedient child, promised them that there for the interest of the Oduduwas, as the case may be. But he will be there as a Nigerian president, but the interest is for the people. Now he get that support from that angle. Now, looking at the East have already, established with IPOB. What did he have to do? Or says, okay, now the thing I have to do now is to play a very intelligent one. He found a way to connect to Nnamdi Kanu. Do you get that? Now, how did he connect to the siblings of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? He connects them, being a bag of money. Now, their interest is to whether, play a kind of smart one, use your brother's influence and create kind of confusion within the East. And also their boy, which was arrested recently in Finland, was there. They were all connected into what happened in the East, how he won those elections. Remember the guy in Finland was also, he gave an order to the 5 eastern states not to come out and vote, so that we'll seize the opportunity for this man to win. That's a very clever one. At the same time, he played on the coastal region. He bring the other one in. Menyako, one of, he's going to work with him. Our people in the coastal region now, who they caught from their big brothers from the upland, think that now this guy is here and there in the coast. Maybe through him, a lot of people will be appointed into his government. So this guy now make wave all over the place. He used that one, and also our brother Mwike. He collected their vote from there. If let me just put it, even though they didn't, but he collected that support.
Actually, no vote was collected in Rivers.
Exactly. Well, he collected exactly.
Let us take this caller, because this caller have been here for a very long time now.
Okay, go ahead, Mazi.
Before we go back to this discussion, hello caller, welcome to the program. Good evening.
Okay, thank you for allowing me. There's something I heard about Mazi saying something that interested me, and which I don't blame him, but I just want to shed light to it. He said, Christ, if Christ come back as a black person, people will revolt. Yes. And I don't blame him for saying that, but I want to, before I make my decision, let me go back to the history. It is the intention, that was the intention why, not, let me just say, it's not all white. It is the globalists, the racists, and the haters and globalists. Those are the ones that came in with esoteric power, which is secret power, that brought religion and democracy to kill, destroy, enslave, and extort things from Africa, making themselves look like heaven, that is saviors. But in reality, they came to destroy everything that we have, knowing fully well that we have language, we have tradition, we have education, we have everything. And they succeeded in bringing that, right? Then the question is, yes, this is what they did. But they brought, I did a video last year in Lagos about the effect of Christian religion to Africa and Igbo people or Nigeria. It is the way, there are two ways.
It is the way we took the religion that matters and affected us because of out of poverty. Remember what you said. I grew up in Assemblies of God too, but I never. My mind was telling me, "Don't go forward, don't go forward." I was interested in my education, and when I was working in Central Bank, Anoliefo, the chairman of NAMCO, wanted me to go to Debla, James Jami represent NAMCO, and then leave for Central Bank, and then he promised me Mercedes 200 to give to my dad, but I have to belong to secret society. My God that I serve gave me the inclination, which aligned, spiritually, that education was my priority, not money. If I had followed that path, I could have died. So it is the way that people take religion, even though that they came to destroy and they succeeded. Then let me go back to this, right? To this, they destroyed and brought some fake things about Africa to subjugate us to say that we don't. For the information, for your information and information of the people, the original ancient Hebrews, Israelites, were Africans. That is, we documented the Bible. Moses, Solomon, and all the rest of them. We documented the Bible in the Hebrew language, Igbo and whatever. They stole those things, technology and whatever, stole it, go back to Ethiopian, Greco-Roman, and translated it to Greek, and added something, took away. Do you know, I don't know if you people know, that Igbo people, our grandfather was God, the seer, which I am working on, researching now. God the seer. Even there's a movement now. Good whites are telling the world about how Europeans, Greco-Roman, extorted things from Africa, language and civilization. Even Dr. Phil Wenger from Republic of Congo Republic. He was involved in Egyptology. He tried to turn the narratives about how Europeans destroyed Africa and turned things upside down. So what we are seeing now is that there's a new wave of the truth coming out for us to go back to our root. I believe in it. What you people are saying, I believe in it. Going back to our root is not Ifaronse. It's Omenana, Ordinala, or the Bendi, or Fonogu. Another thing that I want to mention is that, do you know that 90% of people taken out of slavery came to America or whatever, and Haiti? We are mostly Igbo people. And there is a site in US here, Savannah, Georgia, where the Igbos, one of them was a chief, refused to be a slave, and they changed themselves and drowned in the Savannah, Georgia, and say, God, we are going back to God. So the Igbos, we don't even know ourselves. Our enemies know us more than we know ourselves. That is why we take things for granted. To land, Christ is coming back as a black person, whether people like it or not. He's coming back as a black man. He's never been this. It is the Europeans, Greek-Roman, who rejected him, killed him. They forced us they raped us. They came from Greco to Africa, Egypt. It's a history that I'm working on now, and Holy Land, and then force us to call us. It's called crossbreeding by force. That is rape. They did this, multiplied. Pontius Pilate, people that killed Jesus. What do you call it? The Roman emperor. He directed kill Jesus. Why did he kill Jesus? Because he was black minority in that thing. Just like they killed Martin Luther King. So to say that Christ will come back as a black person, He was black, and it's coming, and it's happening. This the people that in Israel now, they were the same people that rejected Jesus Christ. They call themselves Jewish, so they are not Jews. And the Bible said that it's not everybody that call themselves Jews are Jews. Revelation 29:19. So if they call themselves Jewish, they are not Israelites.
Mazi Isaiah, do you have anything
Eh?
to say? Because the teaching is.
Okay. If he can listen from the background, that'll be,
Okay.
you can. Thank you, Mazi, for your call. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much for that contribution.
All right, thank you very much.
Mazi.
Mazi, we are who we are, so we do not come from anywhere. We are Igbo people, and we remain Igbo people, and we are proud of Igbo. We are. So let's just leave it there now, so that we won't miss exactly the question.
The attention.
Yes. So now looking at the game these people played. So they went to Mbamri, they use Nwike, and they use Asari. And to the extent, they made Asari came to carry his boys. He went to Abuja. He thought that no so go na ndị ha na-eme. He was used. Then later on, this man cut him off and even cut all the amnesty, the money that they give to them, which got him mad now. Now coming to our own side, where he played a very good one. Now he played also Ndo Kochukwu. This is the only man who formed fake bishop, use it to bargain his ambition. While the real Ndo Kochukwu, none of the bishops ever talk, none of the pastors talk, none of them challenge people who this man brought as the bishops to represent them on their behalf. Their power of prayer, their power of binding and losing didn't get to that. They were there sitting silently. Somebody brought a fake bishop and pastors to represent them and to achieve what his intention were. Now, this is also how this man also played using his son, making these ones look like they are going to be important. These guys forget their own brother. They forget their own brother. What was interest of their own is the money and probably one kind of appointment they think they will get after everything we're done. But the thing that I don't understand is whether they want their brother, whether they want their brother to be alive or there is something that only them within their family that will explain that to the public if they want, because it's a family thing. Looking their behavior, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped in Kenya and rendition, nobody knows. This man was tortured for 8 days. And this guy was communicating with those who were holding his brother and torturing him. And he never ever said it to the public. We did not even know. The movement were going, the fundraising for ESN were going. Nobody, it's just that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as he normally appear within 2 or 3 days on radio, has not showed up. Then it becomes a concern to the leadership. Then Mazi Ikem, the appointment he's supposed to have, he had with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he didn't show up in the appointment. Then he began to scramble for where is he? This is unusual. Exactly. This is unusual. Somebody that I have an appointment with by 7 o'clock, he didn't show up. And what is going on? And his number was switched off, no way to reach out to him. Then he began to make contact, called his own brother. When this thing were into 2 or 3 days, less than even 3 days, this thing happened. This guy is so heartless, he could not review to Mazi Ikem, the head of the or Mazi Chinasa, that their brother had been kidnapped or he's in the hands of the enemy. He didn't say it.
Of
He was
which,
saying that
under other condition, maybe he would have told them to. It is that is that he. Let me just allow me to take a breath.
you have to say it.
Mm. No, I'm trying to take a breath because, Mazi, for me, it is quite deeper than the
Honestly,
ordinary eye can see.
honestly,
Considering the fact
honestly.
that outside Mazi Chike Doziem, outside Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that Chike Doziem is next in line. If there was any reason to have kept Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kidnapping confidential, he would have simply communicated that to Mazi Chike Doziem, explaining to him that it is confidential,
Exactly.
that there are
Exactly, Mazi.
negotiations going on behind the back.
Exactly.
See, you understand what I'm saying? So
He
obviously,
was busy, Mazi.
yes. Rather, he lied.
He was, yeah, because he was busy negotiating whatever money that he need to bargain. It's an agreement. He was involved in the whole plot. He was involved with it. So he was busy negotiating, talking, whether they promise him whether they're not promising him. The only end result that would have been is that ihe ka ha plan ya ihe ha ga-agwa the public. While this thing were going on, those who were also involved in America were busy blasting the leadership and creating nuisance. And there was something that was going on people did not know that time. A lot of these people in America begin to infiltrate IPOB zonal meetings and the national meetings across the whole globe, trying to change the demography. Do you understand? It was terrible. Nobody know what was going on. So that once Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ọrụ na asa ha egburie ka ha shi plan ya because that was the end result they were waiting for. So n'ọrụ na ọ gara otu ahụ ahụhụzi disappear otu eji plan ya. Now they will come up with they will come up with this shenanigans Mazi Chike Doziem and the DOS Mosel because onye ka ọzọ emewego prophecy already. That our people are going to desert the DOS. So there is this, incitement they are planting in the psyche of our people against this movement, so that our people will be the one that will attack the movement itself. It won't even come from the government. It will be our people that will destroy themselves. It was a very terrible plot. And this guy that is called the siblings are the one that involved. Even the lawyer also involved. The Onyeka brilliant, was involved as well. Was also busy dishing out on the Twitter saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to the mountain to collect 10 tablets. Look at the statement. 3 of them were blasting on the same. They were going in the same direction when the public did not even know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
And now you talked about religion as well, where prophecies were made, and you see how the religion now comes in again. Understanding the mindset of our people, how deep the religion have eaten our people. And I also remember that somebody was using the name of Elohim. Also
Exactly.
another religious perspective, to go into the mind of our people, because they understand that the moment they hear the name of Elohim, Jesus Christ, and our people will, their spirit will, they will become weak. Let us take this caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the program.
Yes, good evening, Mazi. My name is Mazi Joseph. I'm calling from India. I have 2 questions I would like to ask Mazi Azayoba. One goes to, in regard to the visit of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu to the Enugu in Eastern region, which he embarked upon last week. And we kind of looked into the whole scenario of what happened in that very meeting, there was no one who was able to raise the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the release of our leader from that very meeting. And they raised a very critical concerns. So this leads me to the question I want to ask, which is there, does that mean that the Directorate of State doesn't have a direct contact, like make a direct contact to the governors, the senators, and the House of the Representatives from our region? Because if there is anything like that, I think IPOB should be presenting our own agendas in opportunity like that. Whenever a president visits our region, we should be, presenting our agendas to our governors to be able to bring it to the limelight or for a discourse. So my first question is, does it mean that IPOB leadership doesn't connect directly, like make a direct call to our politicians like the governors and the lawmakers? Because also, this also creates a loophole that makes Kanu and his brother Fine Boy to always present themselves as the face of this movement. So I think if there is something like that, if there is a direct connection between IPUB leadership and the governors, the politicians, I don't think the Kanu siblings, like the Mazi and the Kanu siblings, will be presenting themselves as the leadership of IPOB. And number two that I have to ask is the leadership aware? Is the leadership aware also that Kanu and his brother that is always presenting themselves as the leadership of IPOB in face of the governors? Are they aware that they, using the small letter writing IPOB, are they aware that they are referring that they have established IPOB within IPOB? This is the two questions I have to ask.
Thank you very much. Do you want to stay on the line? Because the first question you asked, I know that question was directed to Mazi Ikem, but I would have loved to also give you response before he come in. The recent visit of Tinubu to Enugu was not publicized, and I didn't see the publicity online or anywhere. So I think it was a coded journey that he went to Enugu. So I don't think the leadership was even aware that such inauguration was going on. Mazi Ikem, do you have any input in that regard?
Like you rightly said, I only heard about the president going to Enugu after he has even left. So nobody knew that he was coming there, except probably those that he failed, that came out in the open and exposed themselves. Now, looking at what he asked already, and this is why we need to explain some certain things on media so that our people will understand the difference between siblings and the structure of IPOB, because people need to face the reality. And this is where we are getting it wrong. And it can never come out and blame the leadership of IPOB or any national coordinator for you leaving the structure that is that is established to guide the movement and following an individual because he is connected to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because he says he's a brother to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Is completely wrong, and nobody should blame the leadership for you making that particular decision. Now, if brother of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes to you to say that he is the face or he's the brother to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, yeah, you are brother to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, so what about it? The prime minister of this country, they have brother, they have siblings. What's his name? Trump has brothers and siblings. Joe Biden has brothers and siblings. Do you hear about them? Do you hear them leading any kind of diplomatic move anywhere? Why is our people always, will leave the thing that is facing them and always be misled? That's how this guy, this criminal, this Fulani boy, came in a clone. The same thing that happens to Nigerian state, they did the same thing and it worked perfectly. This guy came and claimed everything. You start following him, start contributing. Today, he has been arrested. Had it been that IPOB leadership did not manage to separate this guy, had it been this guy were allowed to broadcast on Radio Biafra, which he said Chikedozem was in the meeting face to face, ask him, he said that he came to take over Radio Biafra. If the Radio Biafra cannot be handed over to him, if it were to be some of you, you would have handed Radio Biafra to him, to somebody that you don't know, from the blue. A whole Radio Biafra that is for the people. One individual came from blue. You don't know where he came from. You don't know the village where he come from. You don't know his family. You don't know
the same sibling,
his community. Nothing about it. You cannot trace about him.
Maz, and this same sibling also projected him to be given a slot.
Yeah, because their intention, like I said, as I was saying before the call came in, we don't know what the issue were, because intention on how we probably na ha chọrọ nwanne ha nwoke ma ọwụ na ha chọrọ, a greedy thing that do happens in the family, and the idiot thing that he can take over the IPOB. Because once Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, less than 2 or 3 days, this thing came out in the open. This guy went to Dr. Masanga's punchline this thing. He sat there very well, wearing suit, then wear his beret. He was confidentially talking when people like my man Ugochukwu Onyejiaka have died out of heart attack. When a lot of people have died out of heart attack for hearing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. People were dying. Some you and I here could not have a sleep for a couple of months. Even till now, we haven't come out from the shock of what happens.
Many of us lost appetite for food.
For food, and this guy, we are comfortably sitting in Masanga's program, talking about his interests and what he wasn't showing any concern that one he wasn't. Nobody will be in their right mind. He will be bold enough to be talking the way that guy was talking. He doesn't show any remorse for whatsoever what happens to his own brother. You understand? When you know that now this man won naturally. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu surviving it it's even by the grace of our ancestors that this man was able to made it alive somewhere in before the public now realize what happened. So you can see now when they see that this guy, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is a him and his movement is not somebody you can push over and take over the whole entire East, or they go possible. So they have to send the man no me handed directly to them. He sent the son 1 year pro the game. Weregana must go back now to tackle and
there was no clear written agreement to this pact that was reached. So it was just a verbal handshake.
Now, all the explanations, Mazi Chinasa Nworu coming on air, giving clarity, explaining. Mazi Chika will explain. The leadership, the coordinators will come on Radio Biafra, explain. Our people refuse to listen to this genuine, honest men. They were listening to, the guy in Finland, which they projected. Somebody, Obasanjo himself, come out in the open and say that this guy is a lawyer. He's a retired military man. He's more dangerous to than Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. People are going to say, Ole Obasanjo, where did you know this guy? For how long did you know him? Where? How all of a sudden a whole former general we are talking about, who was in Biafran, who was involved in directly Biafra war. Obasanjo was involved directly Biafra war. And he's the one talking about the one in Finland that you don't know. All of a sudden, our people at Cheworo, place, laid the whole structure of that was meant to guide this thing. They saw enemy laying siege on the leadership and the DOS. Instead of our people to come to the rescue of these men, they run to a stranger. They use this guy buy a lot of our youth. More than 10 to 15,000 of our people were destroyed. Houses were destroyed. I told them, I came out on social media, I told them that any day this guy got ban TV, this is phone here now, any dog ban you will go blind and to do ban you. Now, this guy now have devastated the Nigerian government. That's why you're seeing them recently coming out. Even the siblings now coming out openly again now, launching attack and the leadership. Because of the absence of this guy. Because they never want to condemn his activities. The guy was insulted their brother, said that he would never listen to anybody in the ESS. The guy will insult their brother's wife. The guy will insult their family. The guy will call their names and call every kinds of name. They will never condemn him.
They were even giving him information that he needed to fight the leadership at the IPO because
Exactly.
they felt that the battle they couldn't fight on their own, that he's fighting it for them on their behalf to destroy the leadership of IPOB.
So exactly, Mazi. Now taking him away now unannounced for them is a devastating, situation that they don't know how to do it. That's why you see them recently now. You would have asked this question, Mazi. This recent confession now he made when they have spent almost 3 years blackmailing the leadership that they are involved with the Igbo politicians, they are dodging into they are making money, they are doing this, they are doing that, they are in contact with the politicians. When they are the ones actually, the one who have been connecting with this politician, betrayed the politician, or some of these Igbo governors. As this brother asked this question, they collected from these governors and betrayed them. Now, on behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, now it's only now that we know, even when Mazi Chinasa will come on social media and Radio Biafra explaining this to our people, he himself that called now, did they ever believe it? Do they believe it? Until now, they are asking this question now because the siblings now came out in the open and they are now and explain how they have met with the side. Now, understand, Mazi. I want you to understand this now. They met the side had a walk with before the election of 2023. They did not met him when the man was president. Understand this. Our people need to, understand this problem, how far they messed things up. Now, they met this guy, promised him that they should continue holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they will make sure that East did not he get a lot of votes in the East. That is why that East did not participate. They will fail P2B. And that is why this guy was busy throughout his time with this criminal they caught in Finland now. That's why throughout his time he was attacking P2B like no man's business. And I will go and I will,
Absolutely. I
and I will
wanted
be
to mention that earlier, but I was waiting for the right time because we saw the kind of attack that the so-called autopilot were giving to P2B. They weren't attacking Tinubu the way they were attacking P2B.
to them, they didn't mention that Tinubu's name anywhere. These people, autopilot, and it was this Onyendu siblings. They were the one directing giving those instructions to the buffoon himself and also autopilot. P2B were attacked in a way that I was asking. P2B na this small boy in Finland they were in common. This thing did like this. To the extent, the time of election, this guy were attacking the electoral campaign meetings, and they also place a kind of 2 weeks lockdown in the whole 5 states, so that there will be no single vote that will come for P2B from the East. If at all, they will have to support P2B. So it was orchestrated, and this siblings never condemns that. While he was busy collecting money from side, then the buffoon was also locking down on P2B so that there will be no thing coming from P2B. So they played them. This is the thing I was telling you, that this man played the best, well, I said, I don't know. He played the most sophisticated politics you can ever think of. And he won, he benefited, he won it. He won it.
I think that my face is blurred again. I'll be going out while you continue. I'll go out and I'll try to log
Okay, so this guy, they did this thing, Peter B, we are blocked. Isn't it ironic? Isn't it ironic? I have to say this here. So because our people aren't have what anything. Isn't it ironic that Peter B, mgbe parents emege funeral parents onye ndu, Peter B went one of the Eastern politicians who went for that funeral in honor. Where he went in honor, despite the situation that surrounds the sudden departure of Onyendu's parents. But he went and commemorated with them. Then Oruzie, the time that these guys would have stayed away from all this nonsense here, or politics here that would affect their own brother. Now they went and support this guy. One side.
Yeah, Mazi Isaiah, what he's asking is, does the Directorate of State have direct communication with the Eastern governors?
Now, Mazi, I am trying to explain that to you.
Okay.
Some of them, they, I don't say that the leadership have direct communication, but the leadership have a way to pass a message if they want to get a message to get to them, which Mazi Chinasa have explained a lot of those things. There are some certain things the leadership find out about the activities of Omunonyendu, which actually jeopardize the what would have been in the favor of the movement, if the, as the case may be. These people were defrauded by these siblings of Onyendu, and as I said, imagine Peter B contesting election 2023, and these boys got to nwa enyima side, gave me side, in order to disrupt election that will favor Peter B in the east and allow the other person to win. Mazi, do you understand the game here? And
So
now
the question I want to ask is, how do they know that Tinubu will become the president of Nigeria after the election? What gave them that assurance to have
because
struck a
Mazi,
deal, believing that when he become president that he will free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? What gave them that?
Mazi, listen, with the, I am judging these guys based on their presentation, their confession last, on their confession. I don't think their interest will to free one Nehemoke. I don't think that is why he failed. They don't think no these people played them, use that as an bargain to get them to disrupt the activities of Peter B's campaign within the East. Which, if we, now I will say, no wonder one Nanyuko never want to mention anything or uttered any word regarding what is happening to IPOB because of what the betrayal of the siblings. Like you rightly asking question, what gave them the assurance that now this man got Chichi? The what gave them the assurance that this man got Chichi is disturbing the East so that there won't be proper coordination of election that will vote that will give winning to P2B. Do you understand? Which is a pure betrayal. They're supposed not to be involved in that. Now the question is, why do they come now to confess? When IPOB leadership is trying to, get the politicians of the East to, to be careful, to play politics of, race interest, the interest, the politics that is for the interest of our people. While these guys were going to side, making a deal, do you think that the politician doesn't know that this guy was striking a deal with the side? Do you think that the politicians, the Eastern politician, doesn't know? They know. Harm everything. They know. And that's why you see asụkwa ka ekwukwe mgbe ụfụkwa sometimes ekwukwe ka ewukwe ya maybe all him hụrụ ha ji gba nkịtị na-efeel that na this guy being somebody that is close to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is aware of what they are doing. Now, do you get the point? That is him they believe who were some of the politicians are, and they make some of our people we are attacking our politicians unnecessarily when it's not necessary. When they are these ones that are the one betraying our people, going to the bribe. So only Amazi, we don't want to say something. Can I help you put something enemy a kind of ammunition to destroy our people. There's a lot of things I don't even want to mention here.
I think he has been able to respond to your call that the Directorate of State have their source of communicating with the governors of the Eastern region when there is need for such communication. Thank you very much for the call. I was giving you an abundant time. Mazi Ikem, it is my pleasure to have you in this program because, and I believe that a lot of our people are following. We've been able to take 3 calls or more, which is very, very interesting. And I believe we've also been able to attend to so many questions that needed some answers. I don't know what message you have for our people in closing. We're already in 2025. This is January. Yes.
Yeah, just a quick one before you go in there. There's somebody was asking a question here. Why? My question goes to this. Why hasn't P2B never go to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? First of all, you have to understand. They can put before P2B. I'm not defending P2B here. Understand this, please. I'm not defending him, but Mazi P2B went to the funeral of Parents Onyendu. He was there present. He's one of the Eastern politicians that were present there. Not all of them that went, but him and Aparibe and few others were physically there. That is commemoration. That is regard. She showed that regard. Now, looking at the confession, because he gave him all him say, people should understand that now, this is siblings like meet a side. Now, Azuya bribe, the election has not been conducted here in 2023. Understand that. So this thing happened before the election. So now you are playing your allegiance and support to Tinubu. How do you know that Tinubu is going to win the election? Like you rightly asked this question a moment ago. How do they know that no one will win? So you neglected your own. In an open. When say Abraham olili mama na your but Peter Obi there. Them even self dabbling into such a thing. Knowing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been discharged and acquitted, Mazi, there is something that is not right. Our people need to get it correctly. Something is wrong. What they did is wrong.
Mazi, if there were going to be any form of negotiation before the election, believing that, okay, they do not believe in the court process. Let us accept that on their part, that they do not believe in the court process. Why not balance the equation by meeting all the presidential candidates and putting this issue before all of them? Mazi, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Since they have ruled out the court process and they believe that whoever will be the president would, definitely free Mazi Nnamdi. Why didn't they meet all the presidential candidates and do it in a transparent manner? Why was it done in secrecy?
Mazi, that is the whole thing. That is the whole mess now. How I know when her cause for this whole shenanigans that is going on. Now, instead of them, Nechichekem, immobilize all the, since they want to be engaging with politicians, I gotta how many engage much more with our own politicians, more engage them more, and then wait for what will be the outcome of the other second party.
No, Mazi, my
But
own position is why didn't they go round to put up this negotiation with all the presidential candidates, including Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Kwakwanso, and possibly to negotiate with all of them? What gave them the certainty? What gave them the assurance that Tinubu was going to
Mazi,
listen?
yeah,
Yes.
Mazi, I must tell you, the interest of these guys is to destroy IPOB. They were working very hard to disconnect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from IPOB. That was the whole thing. If you look at the activities, if you look at what they have done, if you look at how they push Mazi, the barrister out, push San Ozekome, and they say promise that they will bring their own son in order to get our people to believe in them, and they blackmail that IPOB leadership doesn't want their brother to be released. And while their in-law was saying that their brother is more secured in DSS than to be at the hands of DOS and the Chikedosim, you can see the evil that these people, they have never condemned the buffoon, blackmailing their brother. The lawyer were also trying to link the activities of the buffoon even to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You can now see that all the whole mess, the mess they cause is something that no politician want to come near to them, knowing this behavior of betrayal of all angles. They cannot go to them because they have messed everywhere. They have messed everywhere. This is what Mazi Chinas and Wuri have come out in the open and been complaining, but our people refuse to listen and support the leadership when they were, trying to exonerate themselves from the whole mess that they put our people and also the leader himself. It's unfortunate that this guy decided to come at this time to make this confession. Would any of you have believed that this is what they are doing? Nobody believe it. Nobody. It's only now. And the question I'm now doing: why this confession now? Why this confession they are doing now? Why do they decided to make it public? Isn't it to cause more disaffection and confusion in the whole East? Isn't it? Now it's up to our people now to know what they want. Whether they want IPOB to be destroyed, whether they want this Biafra to this movement to continue. And now the truth for me have been made open. Now they have seen the people who meant well for them, and the people now need to fall back to the struggle and to the structure of this movement and protect it, as Dem Bazrike Amechi said, and the other father said as well. So they said that IPOB must be protected. This is the only thing Ndigo has. That, as I said, politicians that could have come on the arena of the politics with their own, they went there on their own. The same siblings, they went to Kenya without IPOB. Do they want the matter? The case there, the answer is no. They went to UK without IPOB. Do they want the matter there? The case there, the answer is no. They went to SAI and Tinubu on their own without IPOB. Do they want it? The answer is no. Now, what do you expect the leadership to do in this kind of thing? When you were following them and native water today, if IPOB have allowed this guy to make use of Radio Biafra and Biafran television, they would have shut it down today with evidence they have with that guy. There would have been complete. It's just that IPOB leadership should be, given a credit where they have done well. That IPOB protected our land. Our land would have been ravaged by today. Moron has made I shot IPOB and the radio down with the activities they wanted to link. Even foreigners, even the so-called they were all supporting this guy to be doing what he's doing, thinking that at the long run, IPOB will be linked to his activities, and they will use that activities and his terrorism to shut IPOB down, because everything gears to shut IPOB down. The whole thing, that is exactly what Sai did. Just use this guy, make sure that the East is unstable, so that their father will be declared winner. And that is exactly what happened. And now, both connection now, he caught even Asare Dokobo, talk less of them. Who is he? Who is the man in Germany that Tinubu will pay attention to him? The son played the politics. There is the son, not even the man himself. The son played the politics. Use him against IPOB and the man Nnamdi Kanu. Because what happens to P2B would have not happened, regardless how P2B was our own brother, is our own son. Protect like I said, he was in the funeral. He was there.
Mazi, despite the fact that some enemies of Igbo and some enemies of IPOB were even calling Peter Obi an IPOB member.
Exactly.
How do you now play such a game? Let us say, for example, by nature and by ordinance, Peter Obi is an indigenous person of Biafra. How would you now, what make you believe that Tinubu will have more of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu interest than Peter Obi if eventually the two of them were opportune to, if Peter Obi were opportune to be the president, if he had won the election? What made you believe that Tinubu would have had more interest of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu more than Peter Obi?
Now, this is $1 million question. Like I said, I am a Peter Obi, but no one man okay. In a situation like this, that is that playing a politics of emotion and sentiment. That is what our people played. Do you understand? But in IPOB don't play that kind of game of emotion. That's why we play.
Listen. When I ask my questions,
Yes.
my questions are tactical. Do you think that?
Yes, I know.
Yeah. Do you think that their support for Tinubu was based on emotion, or there was a financial transaction behind it? Because these are two different things, which you mentioned earlier, by the way.
Mazi, these people knew, this society knew that these guys were not real. And Sai know that he can use them to infiltrate and cause some kind of disaffection within the movement, knowing that these people are connected to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Like you rightly said. Now, I'm going to water here because we know where we are criticizing Peter Obi as our own brother, and it's within our right to criticize him. But when it comes to things like this, IPOB played a smart game. Say, our people, go there and make your choice. So that it won't be a reason the enemy will use to attack or destroy Igbo land. That IPOB stop Peter Obi, their own brother, from going up there.
Or create disaffection among our people if eventually Peter Obi loses, where they will not
exactly
IPOB's decision that gave Peter Obi the disadvantage. Yes.
Exactly, Maz. This is where we. That's why we are here trying to explain all these things. You understand? That's why we are here trying to explain it. We criticize Peter Obi as our own brother, as we criticize some of our politicians who are not representing us well, and this is what we are doing here to explain our people. Now, you going out there to play this type of dating game, as you rightly ask, what makes you think, or do you think na you support onye a ịma na onye a wee ezigbote enemy? Onye ndu criticize gokwa onye a in the past, rukwu n'obi na onye ndu onwekwala mgbe o criticize onye a, and onye ịba n'ọchịchị nwekwara ike ọ wụrụ opportunity nyanwe iji megwuru ihe aha ifil na-eme ihe ana. So now you are lying with him. Enemy doesn't easily forget. Enemy gana easily can forget like that. So the best thing that your safe distance game. Now, no matter how they sees it, for us, for the IPOB to play that our people should go there and do what is right for them. For me, even Peter Obi considered IPOB a good respect because they did what is right. And our people, why IPOB still remain in Igbo land today or in the whole East today, is because of that intelligent move. Because that would have set the whole entire East on fire. Had it been that IPOB did not step back and allow this thing to work naturally, even Peter Obi there, we can face Peter Obi as our own brother, as a president. I say, look, guy, either you call us buru bomb buru amota ka bịa asụwanye ya na ụlọ ka anyị ma na ọgụ nwa nwanne anyị nwoke na-egbu for the fact na ka nobody there. So that would have somehow make a sense. But these morons decided to go and be, negotiating before the time. Am to do it that way? I don't know. Only them knows. And now they come out to, now that you're saying it to the public now, why are you saying it? What do you want the public to do? Are you saying it now? Basically, now was it?
Mazi, were they expecting that IPOB would jump on the bandwagon of that
I don't know.
Out?
Now, and when this guy have seen IPOB,
Mazi, you know why I said so? Because we've seen scenarios where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was restricted his new legal team now from seeing him, and they come out and they were shouting that they have denied them access to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. By so doing, gingering IPOB to jump into that discussion, putting pressure, using IPOB to put pressure on the Nigerian government. And the moment they succeed, they will cease communication. They will cut IPOB off and sideline IPOB from now relating whatever information they are getting from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Does it mean that these people have continued to use IPOB for their own personal agenda without even we being conscious of some of these tactics that are being implied?
The IPOB leadership knows all these things. IPOB leadership knows, but like I said, let me repeat it one more time, Mazi. The job, the whole contract, both the one in Finland was doing and the one that the siblings are doing, is to disconnect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from IPOB. That is the whole the mission. Once you disconnect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from IPOB, then go after IPOB leadership, the DOS. Once you can see the attack the DOS receive from even our own people. Now, once the DOS is down, then the coordinators will not have anywhere to hold hands on. That is ultimate collapse of IPOB. And once that one happened, then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's fate will hang in a balance. I don't know what will be the fate, but then that will be because now the strength of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which is IPOB, is down. The IPOB leadership is down, so the IPOB is no longer there. And the East, is there anyone speaking for them? The answer is no. That will be a complete confusion in the whole East. And then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will have nobody talking to him. Now, had it been that these guys were not meddling into the whole thing and allowed the lawyers to stand on the discharge and acquitted of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that would have been a grave advantage to the whole situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. But hear me here. Now, somebody that have been discharged and acquitted, IPOB leadership is lobbying the leaders, the people that matters in this world, both the United Nations. Everybody have acknowledged that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been discharged and acquitted. And now, all of a sudden, what they played, which is a very clever one, which would be saying this before it even happened, disconnecting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from IPOB. Now, they went and get Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that he must stand trial when he has been discharged and acquitted. Do you get that? Now, you standing trial, that means your discharged acquitted winning case or one case is no longer it's like it's no
Valid.
longer valid because you have gone back to trial.
You have
Completely.
accepted to continue a non-existent trial for that matter.
Exactly. Now,
And
going to
for
the
Mazi, I think that all these things, sorry to cut you short, is just to spike IPOB. So for them, anything they can do, because as far as the leadership have said, no, we can no longer continue, for them to spit on the face of IPOB, even if it endangers the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as long as it is a spit on the face of IPOB, they have no problem with it. Even if that thing have consequences in the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu negative. Is that the
yeah,
point?
Mazi, even Mazi Ganti, in summary now, because we are summarizing. Now, even
Yes.
now, ị chọrọ ịgwa m na Nigerian government, this communication this present lawyer nọ na-ekwu of communication ya with this guy eji na Finland, na echere na ha dey aware of it, which nyanwa jikwara aka ya post o. He's the one that posted it himself. Mgbe ọ fall out with the guy, he posted it where he was discussing how they wanted to disorganize the Peter Mbas government. Mazi, and onye presented as the face of onye defend the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Do you see how they played them? Do you see it? That's why the guy cannot openly say anything now. He can't say anything. He can't defend Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. More than what is it? Oh, the guy no agro okikbe. Now you went and posted out of frustration between you and your man. You posted on social media your conversation with him where you are saying you yourself water. In a tea water. Now what the guy is right on or hold on fire. Your conversation, you posted it, is on internet. To be defending Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that have won the case, allegedly winning the case for him, a push on by the side. This type of record, where this type of record, won't be defending Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with this. Mazi that something is wrong. So that is why that IPOB and the members of the public need to see a way to support the movement. Holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu does not mean that the movement has have collapsed. The structure is there, and even before now, he told you, in my absence, this is the structure that you need to follow that will guide this struggle. It doesn't matter who is there, but as long as that structure is there, it should be protected. People should follow it. And I have said this before. There was a time this country were without government for almost 5 months. And all the parastatals were working as normal. Judiciary, everything we are working, nobody were breaking the rules. That Nejima as Nnamdi Kanu does not mean, as long as the structure is still there and effective,
The
people
institution
should,
functional.
and not these people had been writing, this DOS had been writing to the government, informing them and updating them. And there's been some kind of engagement that you don't see in the public. They don't come and make open in the public. So the honest, genuine people, the whole time of event now have proven that these people were innocent. They were meant good for you. And then these people who have been accusing them have been falling out now. Like I said, this guy had been arrested. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not arrested here. But this guy had been arrested based on the fraud and he committed, and also using even Islamic bank. That is why he was able to stay in the public for a very long time, because the bank he was using was not linked with European bank. So it took them time for them to investigate it and nailed him. You understand? And this is why this attack on Biafra land, on Igbo land, goes for a very long time. And they can see a little bit of sense of quietness now, a little bit, since he's absent. Now you can see somehow, even though that the securities are dealing with some of these criminals now, but at least you can see a little bit of for now in the last 2 months now. So everything is there, and this guy coming also confessing that he met Sai, and then the agreement is an agreement. How does that, what else do you need to hear from the leadership that these people meant good for you? And they have been the one that engaging the public, engaging the lawyers. But one question I believe a lot of people were asking, why the leadership cannot remove the lawyer representing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. One thing they should understand is that the lawyers that is representing IPOB is still there, which is Mazi Ifeanyi Ejiofor, is the lawyer for IPOB. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has the choice to allow the lawyer to continue in his case, or he said, okay, hands off for now. And if he asked him to hands off for now, IPOB did not sack Mazi Ejiofor from being the IPOB lawyer. But if they make suggestion to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say, hold on, I will come back to you. They can't do otherwise because he's the one that is owing the, standing to the case. Mazi Nnamdi in this regard has the ultimate authority to appoint who will represent him in this case. That is why my Barrister Ejiofor can return at the moment until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu make the request for himself. So only representing here now his choice.
Are there still possibilities, which I doubt, that the Barrister Ejiofor will return to represent Mazi Nnamdi Kanu again if that request is made? Are there possibilities?
Mazi, I don't know
It's not it's not a question you can answer. There is a very important question I would have loved to ask you as regard to insecurity in Biafra land. But I think I have to keep that question for the deputy head of directorate, who will be in a more better position to give me answers to the issues of insecurity in Biafra land, which is going to hold on the 2nd of February on this platform on BTV Europe. And I want people to keep the date and join us on the 2nd of February 2025. Mazi Ikem will be here live with us and the exact time will be given as we proceed. Mazi, I think we'll have to start winding down. We have exceeded the required time. And I think I have to let you go. But before I let you go, please give our people your parting shot.
Okay, thank you very much. And our viewers and our listeners, Biafrans and everyone at large, thank you very much for coming to listen to us. We have deliberated and we have also given you some kind of clarification of what is going on. What I will have to appeal to our people is not to play a selfish game that will affect the public or affect our race. It's very, very important. This is what we have been advising our politicians. If you don't know how to play politics, look at other of your counterparts. Let them not. When it happens here with Jonathan, they went to 19 northern governors went to Obama's White House. Go out there, get me Obama, make sure they remove Obama. So when the Yoruba Amotokun and the Igboho Potra here, they protected Igboho, use way bargain, yeah. And now today they are the one now showing the profits of the very smart game macro. Our politicians now dump all their own. Some of them they decide they might abandon IPOB, follow infiltrator AG, double down from the struggle hand in here. They use this guy, pull out thousands, millions of Biafrans who we have been supporting Nnamdi Kanu, supporting IPOB, and they dump them. And that was how it was designed to work. If you don't want to go and monitor the whole thing, how it happened, they use this guy to drag you out from the reality and then place you where you are now, praying like the Christians now. You're nothing when he jacka, now. Some of very short time now, they'll be tracing in the level, which is the names of now use Islamic Bank supporting terrorism, which is against the international community. Today, IPOB have survived those traps, and with this short time, a lot of things have revealed itself. We don't even, what we are just doing here is just a kind of a, but everything have come out in the open. They have, everything have been exposed. Time have exposed everything, which I always say, time is a great healer. Time is a great healer. Learn how to support your own. Always be your brother's keeper. Value what we have. As the same thing we are saying that we should value our heritage. Somebody cannot come and hoodwink you and make you to hate what belongs to you. What is your, and they will introduce their own as the superior. This thing is a history that has been happening, and it has been happening on even to get to our own generation, and they happen before our eyes. So ọ ga-awụ ihe ihere and ihe ịkọ ọnụ nye every single Biafran to be misleaded and to convince to be abandoning your own for another. And look at it today. The only thing that is remaining now is same IPOB and the leadership to tell you that something that is organic and genuine is you can't compare it. This is genuine.
And secondly, and also very important, that we are not in a hurry.
We're not in a hurry.
Because, yes, even if it's going to take no matter how long, but what is important is following the normal process, because the world is built around process. You cannot jump the boat. If you jump the boat, you're going to sink.
Now look at, you see the end of it.
Yes, our people are so desperate that they are because people are already in following due process. They believe in cutting short. So when they see anybody who is going to lead them through the Libya way, they will run and follow the person. But at the end of the day, if you do not drown or you do not sink in the desert, you are definitely going to drown in the ocean. And that is where they have found themselves, many of them today.
Exactly. Mazi, I want to use this opportunity to thank our people, those who are genuine and honest in whatever we're doing. As we all say, we are volunteers. That's why they couldn't put on IPOB leadership, because these are volunteers. They don't need anything from our people other than your moral support and also your ear, your listening ear. Instruction. Any organization, any race that doesn't have a leader, even in animal world, in Serengeti, all animals, they have their leader. They have their leader, somebody that is leading them. They don't leave the one that is leading them or the group of lioness, and then they will follow hyenas. Or hyenas will be leading lion. It doesn't happen. Or hyenas will be led by a lion. No. Or the war dog will be led by other. You will see them again. What they do, or the bush dog. They always have the one that is leading them. And when can I happen?
And even within the animal kingdom as well, the moment you derail from the fold, you become vulnerable. You become vulnerable.
Exactly.
We are now
so this is what,
so many of our who derail and they become vulnerable. Today now, we've seen even the so-called government in exile that they form have divided into two.
Exactly. While IPOB cannot here. While IPOB cannot here. So it's terrible, Mazi. Yes. But we must continue. Once again, thank you very much for joining us this evening. We will come in from time to time. Mazi, don't forget that Mazi Chinasamori is coming over the weekend to also throw more light into this. Because there is no way the leadership could have led any kind of confrontation with this type of mindset. It would have been a disaster. Just only 1 hour, everything will have Now. So we have to have that oneness, one mind, at least one mind, and one understanding, one instruction. Only understand all from one central command, not to two, not three. So when how will I decide so ka ọ hapụ ịwụ na that na ndị a na-aba again onwe ka anyị nwere so IPOB wukwana ka enwere nwu na anaghị eso na ha were efe aga ha wetakwa unu look alike ọzọ tomorrow. You can imagine ndị na-asọpọt ụmụ ndị na-achọ ịga lead ịma attack na church ha nwa ji ọnụ ha na confess our people ịga eme attack our people na church just to blackmail IPOB, just to prove one stupid point. So and they have seen it. So like I said, we are all volunteers. We are not you Mazi Ikem, I don't think anybody is giving you anything. It's your time, 3 hours spend here on a weekday. We are not talking Sunday or Monday. We are talking on a weekday that people are in work, and we devoted our time here just to make sure that this message of emancipation and songs of freedom gets to our people, and it's up to them. We have done our best. It's up to them also in return to also unify our land, and let's find a way to this freedom that we are looking for. Nobody is going to do it for us. No amount of prayer. You have seen that even have prayer department on Radio Biafra. Does that change anything? Does that stop for the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Is to tell you that much. It is your actions that works. That is what is required. So
in fact, when I look at the way that the role that religion have played, immediately Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was a rendition from Kenya. You understand that those who positioned infiltrators understood the mindset of our.
Yes.
You understand me? I remember when Nelly Ofwebu was shouting Elohim, so passionate. They try to bring in that religious side of it to be able to hold, because they know it is an instrument of bondage.
A lot of people even here said that Nelly is more closer to God. She's the one that God speaks to. From here, members. I am real for them. Infiltrators. So that will tell you the level of damage. Even the buffoon himself also used by with that big Bible.
Yeah, even dressed like a pope. Even dressed like a pope.
Reverend fathers.
Dressed like
exactly. That tells you he understands the whole thing. He understands
and even his way of presentation with suit and tie, like a charismatic Pentecostal pastor, trying to portray that, because this is man. I can tell you that it was a game well played. So the role of religion, the role of religion in the infiltration of IPOB is a book that have to be written, because the name of Elohim sounded so high that a lot of people, do you know how many people that fell? Many people fell from Nelly or Fuebu because of that single word, Elohim. Elohim.
Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of people, Mazi. A lot of people. It's a very sad situation. That's why when we say something here, we are not saying it to cajole, because if you talk about that Christianity, Mazi Ikem Patrick, Patrick, anybody that is reasonable knows where they come from.
I grew up in a Christian home. I participated in charismatic movement, as you grow up and advance, you continue.
And you understand the reality.
Yeah, you continue to look deeply. Do you know about what? Because what happened was that religion was used to capture. They use it to capture young people when in their prime, and it's still happening today. And that is why you see a little child that is about 5 years, 6 years, holding Bible, doing mama, papa, papa.
While the ones here we are going to school and focusing on what tomorrow will bring for them. Mazi, it is what it is. We will continue to inform and educate our people. Like I said, we are not here to bully anyone or to castigate our people. What we are telling them is, look at how things are being functioning here. Biafra, if I'm strong enough, if I don't know what to do in Biafran government, I will go and sweep office. I just want to see myself do that little thing that I love for my country, for my nation, when Biafra is restored. And not for them to pay me anything. I'm way behind the Ochichi, I'm way behind those things. But we want to show our people what is patriotism, and that is where you see it in IPOB. If you go to IPOB meeting, you will see how loyal our members are. Everybody want to do small thing that he is able to do without looking at anybody. People will be picking plates, people will be sweeping, people will be gathering. That tells you the patriotism, the way it is in their heart. Our people should understand this, that these are volunteers. These are men and women who are working here, who are being respected here, doctors here. But when they go to IPOB meeting, they bring themselves loyal, they will serve, they do everything, they put their money without request. Anywhere it is, they will just get involved because they are volunteers. That's why IPOB can never be defeated. No, this time, not tomorrow, not ever. So on this note, I want to also appreciate you, Mazi, to keep on the good work, and also our team, our national coordinator in Italy, Mazi Ugo, is doing a very, very nice job, and kudos to him, and also every members of IPOB. I want to use this opportunity as well to appreciate all IPOB European national coordinators, which I have said before. Let them remain very strong. I know it's not easy. It's a very terrible psychological war weighed on our people, which they've never seen before, which is the most dangerous war anybody can engage a race on, just a war of psychology. So they weighed it on our people, and I thank God that IPOB have managed to be battling it. Gradually, things are falling in place. Like I said, the Finnish government did not play a sentiment one. To understand that this guy has stepped over the board, and not even against his own people, he also stepped on their own toe. And they didn't want to take it now. They didn't want to have that rubbish. You can do that nonsense in your country. You can do that nonsense in your continent. You can do that nonsense in your village. But being in our soil, you insult your people, and then you come here to also mess our society up using our airspace. We are not going to tolerate that. That's why they nip the guy straight away. And after that match is what you're seeing on the siblings now reacting, and what you're seeing on UCHM4 reacting, on what you're seeing now, Nigerian government all of a sudden. Now, like I said in conclusion, if IPOB is not getting it right, a whole chief army officer of Nigeria came out in the open and said that IPOB and its leadership are very clever and they know what they are doing. They don't want to dent the movement. So why would any of you not support the leadership so far with the war that IPOB have experienced in the last 3 years? A whole chief of staff. We are not talking about ordinary politicians. It's not even Eastern politicians. Those ones are not important. A whole chief of staff of Nigeria came out on a national television.
That they educated and the intelligent people. He said it.
Give the credit to the IPOB leadership and the movement that they are very educated, they are very clever, they know how they are playing their international politics. And you people don't want to value it. It's up to you. If you don't value what you have, enemy, as onye pronto. If you decided not to support this movement and don't value what you have as these volunteers of the leadership, then thank you very much, all of you, for listening. And again, Happy New Year to you all. Once again, remain safe anywhere you are, and always be your brother's keeper. Thank you very much.
Well, it's always a pleasure having you. I know that at some point in the interaction, I kind of try to disrupt you to also put my point forward. It's part of the dialogue, and it's my pleasure. It's always a pleasure having you on BTV Europe, and we hope to see more of you in the future. Thank you very much for being part of this wonderful program. And I say good night, brothers and sisters all over the world. I want to say thank you and have a wonderful evening. Thanks, and God bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mazi. Thank you.
That's why we name the human being a mad. That's why we don't kill. To kill somebody is very difficult for us. So to ask the gathering of people who will please that we need guns and bullets and weapons will be very, very difficult for you to digest. But without it, our will overrun us. They have succeeded in planting Okrocha in Imo State. One big, massive problem we have. The same thing that happened to do in Akwa Ibom. If they succeed in triangulating, because in life everything is in triangle, if they get away, if they take Uyo, if they take Ibota, Port Harcourt, then we are finished as a people. Completely gone as a race. You will come back home, you will not know the way to your father's compound, because they are coming. Boko Haram is everywhere in Biafra land. They will overrun us in a matter of minutes. And the world will not talk about it, because mankind is afraid of Biafra. They believe that Biafra, after Biafra comes, the world will come to an end. Ask any white man, they will tell you. They believe that Biafra is the last miracle. Once it comes, life will come to an end as we know it. They will know that they are wrong. We know that this very promise that was made to us a long time ago, only if we go back to the Most High, we will realize our potential must be seen in our lifetime. We have the potential in this room to do it, only if we can rise up to that very challenge. That is why the same way that Israel stood against every God is how Biafra is going to stand, not just as a pinnacle to the survivability of the people who are downtrodden, people who we have pressed down for very long, but as a willing testimony to the kindness and the goodness of the Most High. I thank you all very much for listening, and I do hope in time to come that you bring yourself to appreciate what we are doing. Thank you very much.
What, maybe I didn't understand, what exactly is the objective of your movement, number one? You made mention of the 22nd of this month.
Yes.
What will happen? I didn't get to hear exactly what EECA meant the 22nd of this month. And then the third one is that, did you make mention of you will need arms and stuff? I didn't get that. So I really need to understand these three things.
Okay.
Please, thank you.
Let me start from the last one, please. Following from what the person I've got asked. On Sunday, the 30th of August, our people came out of our mission to evangelize, to preach to others about the need for us to get Biafra. And on the orders of Buhari, they were shot dead. And you will know that P2B in 2005, 2006 ordered the army to do something at the same place in Nnamdi, when members of the Master were shot to pieces because they felt that you can kill them. Igbo people don't care, which is a matter of fact. We don't care about each other, that is the truth. We may gather once in a while to eat, to party, and to drink. But when our people die, nobody cares about them, nobody cares about them. Now, from that, we now know that the best way to defend yourself is to be armed. Because Boko Haram is everywhere, in the zoo, police in the zoo, army in the zoo, navy. The zoo, by the way, is Nigeria. That's what we call it, is a zoo, a place full of wild animals. Only those who are not sensible will understand that there is no name like Nigeria before the white man came. I don't even want to call you nigger, then I'll call you nigger, because when you say I'm a Nigerian, it means you're a nigger from a nigger area. That's what the meaning of it. Niger is English word for nigger. In Latin, it is nigger. In France, it is called Niger. It means the same thing. And I can't be a nigger. I come from Biafra, a place that's older than Britain. That's number one. So we need guns and we need bullets. And those of you in America will give it to us. Very, very important. And also, on the 22nd of this month, something will happen. It's called the blood moon. Most of you don't know that in 1967, before the war started, there was a blood moon as well. Are you aware of that? It comes once in a while. There was blood moon in 67. There will be blood moon this year, because after this year, we are going to be free no matter what happens. Because if we don't get Biafra, everybody will have to die. As simple as that. And we're not joking. I came from back home for this convention. I stay in Biafra land. I don't stay in London anymore. I stay in Biafra land. I don't want people to underestimate what we are fighting and the type of adversaries that we're facing. Very, very critical. The World Congress was set up to ensure that all these senseless extrajudicial killings of our people should stop. Is that not correct? Is that not correct? Is it continuing or not? They are still killing us. They are deporting us from Lagos, burning our shops all over the place. Our people being rendered useless and homeless. No appointment from Buhari. The oil and gas comes from our land.
But after a while, I sensed more or less, well, this is what you have to do. If you don't do it, then what comes after it? My question to you now is that, have you ever thought about
the effects of what we're trying to incite. And number two, you know the society where we're in. Where do we go from there? I understand we have concern. Is it possible for the concern to be addressed objectively? We can always reach wherever we want to go.
I'm sorry, your name, please.
Thank you very much. As long as you're a Biafran, you have my love and you have my respect. I will honor you anytime, any day. If you stand in front of me and say you're a Nigerian, you have something else coming. I will never respect you because it means you're not sensible. Simple as that. About the implications, we are dead already. They say he that is down this fear no fall. If you want to live in humiliation, fine for the person. As for me, death is better than living in humiliation.
Thank you.
My name is Chief Sorry and then you walk for me. And then you walk or they move one of our few minutes. As a matter of fact, I really thank you.
We're going to listen to him.
I really thank you for showing us, because if not because we have a limited time, I have like bundles and bundles of questions to ask you, but I'm going to ask few questions. Someone had just mentioned about people who die as a result of this cause. What kind of benefit? And you answered it. A lot of us are here and you wanted us to give you the support. And you mentioned guns, you mentioned arms and ammunition. And I also understand that if we make ourselves really open, let's assume we're in Nigeria, you understand the type of cause it is, and that is prison. One question is, if I go to Nigeria and I've already identified and made myself known, and everybody knows, I'm not denying the fact that I'm not a Biafran, and I get arrested to face treason, what are the modalities you put in place, at least, to save my life? What kind of security do you have on ground? Secondly, you talk about being recognized by 88 countries. And at the same time, you wanted us to support you with guns and arms and ammunition. I have seen a whole lot of wars, both in media and somewhere else. When people are fighting or when people are getting ready to fight, they have some international backings. What kind of international backing do you have? What kind of international backing do you have for you as a person at Biafra to achieve this goal? Or do we just have only the recognition without the backing? Thank you.
Thank you very much. On your very first question, what happens if you go home to agitate? What I can say to you is that you can never ever be arrested. Never. Because what you're fighting for, what we are fighting for, is a universally recognized way of setting people free. I'm sure that some of you here are very conversant with the declarations on the rights of indigenous people. Is that correct? That allows us to go and fight for Biafra. That's exactly what we are doing, of which the zoo called Nigeria is a signatory to it via the AU. So that solves that problem. Secondly, in terms of the war supporting us, it doesn't matter if you give us the guns we need or not. We are going to fight anyway. Because Hausa won't let go. They need your oil, they need your gas. They are Lamaji. They don't do anything. They don't do anything in their lives. It's only to depend on oil and gas. So it is either you live as a slave or you fight to be free. The choice is yours. We've chosen to fight to be free than to live as slaves.
I would want to reiterate and say again that I don't know how to quantify the fact that I'm here today for this convention, and I've enjoyed interactive discussion of this talk until now. I'm telling you, I don't know questions were asked, questions have been put in place. In fact, the last question was asked by my brother over there. And I saw majority of people saying, well, he cannot tell us how he's going to integrate 70 people if this is going to be in place. So I'm saying, I don't understand. You have given a mandate, you have given a date, and you say it's do or die. So I don't know.
You're not gonna die.
Because I know too that America would have not been like this today if Martin Luther did not stand his ground and go to war and fight for, peace. And that's why people like me is here today to enjoy. But I want to ask you all that, how can we, at this interim time, go into this, I don't know. It's like he's talking like I naga war. My heart is just like, so what is going on? Please.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is that we have to speak the truth. It may not sound very palatable, but as our brother Dr. George Verisi, who spoke earlier about truthfulness and honesty.
Because let me again thank you for the effort you are making on behalf of all of us Igbos and Biafrans. But I have a question to ask, because after a while, we're going to start thinking. I don't want Nnamdi would accept the fact that a change in name will make us different. Name was sick. As we stand here today, there are at least 7 states that are predominantly Igbos. And in the context of Nigeria, none of them have reported to us that they never received the federal allocation. And as I see, even you and I here, we have not agitated in the state we come from to make things better for our people. And we are going to the federal. Tip O'Neill, when he was Speaker of the House in the United States, said all politics are what? Local. You see, when we say Igbo states, Igbo people are doing extraordinarily well, and they will even do better if they stay on their own. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is about that if we separate, we become great. Let us use the latest country created by the United Nations called South Sudan. At the inception of this very small country, which is very large, it was all about excitement. But now people are what? The issue is not whether we answer Biafra or Nigeria. The issue is what are we doing for ourselves and them. And I know you said you live back home and you came here. And I don't know what passport you traveled with. Because I know on the international level, unless the rule has changed, there is no country known in the United Nations as one, Biafra. You must have come here through a recognized nation passport, or you may have smuggled in. So my brother, my question to you is, before we start talking about what the Hausas are doing to us, have we talked about what we're doing to clean our house? Thank you very much.